All right. Good morning, everybody. The next Millionaire Agent Workshop, it's week 2, right? So part of this program is creating that structure as we've talked about before, right? Because let me ask you this, right? So today in the attachments I gave you guys this morning, if you had a chance to look it up, right? One is the 2026 Easy Business Plan. It's a business plan that I've created, put together that should be easy. And we'll touch on that a little bit. I sent also the 32 touch point system. I just noticed that he hasn't been completely 100% updated yet. They're still talking about Moxie, I think, in there, but or something. There's some things there that's not fully updated, but you get the gist of it. We'll touch on that. And also, I added the top agent checklist, right? So this checklist, as an agent, full-time agent, you should have these things. Okay, so we're gonna spend most of our time on that checklist today. Okay. Um, Also, the 100-point day system, right? I'll review that again for just some of you guys because that's going to be mandatory now every day. I don't care if you worked or not. I just need to know, is your real estate day start? Okay, so we'll touch on that. So at the very minimum, right, you should be working minimum 5 days a week, right? Now, some people have another job, right? So I really need you to figure out which day are you going to work in real estate. Are you working 8 to 10 hours at one job and then getting into real estate to maybe transition, or real estate is just part time for you, or whatever it is? Okay. You can do real estate part time and have a successful income. Okay. The only question is, what is that income goal? Right. Because, like I said, some people want to just earn $20,000, $30,000, one deal a year, two deals a year, and that's fun money. Their main job is working at Stanford or as an engineer, right? Because they think they can dabble in real estate. This class is structured and will be meant for people to attend our classes live, right? And also for a full time agent who's working 50, 60 hours, who wants to become a millionaire agent, meaning earn not necessarily 1 million in 1 year, but at least have an average of earning 2 to 3, $400,000 per year, right? Because real estate, yeah, we are lucky right now because our price points are so high. But also understand this: competition is great, meaning there's more agents to choose from. Our commissions are maybe under pressure, so we have to learn how to present our service so we can get paid full service, full fee all the time, right? Not 100%, but at least we can show them our value. And at the end of the day, we're going to make a business decision. Should we take on this client at a lower fee? And why should we? Did we make our case? Right? Remember this. Sometimes people want to negotiate. Well, great. How good are you in negotiating? Right? So throughout this next 3 months, your skill level has to increase. Right? And number one thing skill level you need to understand is learning how to communicate. We talk about scripting, right? It's not self-talk, right? Right? I mean, excuse me, it's not sales talk, right? It's sales speak, right? Yes, you got to learn the words, but for me, you have to communicate, casually in a way to where, people, it's not salesy, right? You have conviction in the words, right? When you say, I'm a great salesperson, when you say, hey, would you rather work with me or would you rather work with the other agent? They have to say you, right? If everything were equal, commissions is not an issue. Would you rather work with me or them? Right? So remember last week we talked about before likability and trust, which is more important, right? We talked about that majority of the time. It's about likability, right? Meaning they like you based on how you look, how you sound, whatever it is, right? Now you can change the trust, right? You can develop trust, but likability is more important, right? And this is what I need you guys to really hone in on, right? Because remember, when they meet us, they already think we know real estate, right? When we open our mouth, how do we sound, right? So part of us, your leadership telling you, hey, you need to learn scripts. It's really so that you're comfortable with the words. And if you don't like the words on the script books, that's part of this work that you're going to be doing. In time, you're going to develop your own words. Now, we're going to have some top agents in our call, and we're going to ask them, did you actually practice scripts in the beginning? Right? Some of them did, Some of them did not, although they know how to communicate. Now, understanding the better you are with scripts, right? Any script, right? Knowing the words. Because once you know the words, now you can practice the tonality. Then you can practice the body language. Then you can understand salesmanship. Okay. So that's where in time you will develop that skill. Our top agent, we're not top agent their first year. Like I said before, interview one, two, or three top agents in your office and ask them. I'm going to give you a bunch of questions. Remember, either last in the when I say last week, meaning the past couple of weeks for some of you, right? I've asked you to find two top agents in your company that you can work with in case you need help, right? As you know, at least in our offices, as you're part of your leadership team, we told you if you need us to help close a deal for you, we will go out on an appointment for you, right? Although my strategy is to give you enough confidence to do it on your own. Some of you guys are like, no, no, Greg, no, I really want you to go. So I give you enough though, right? Some of you guys, like Divya found out last week, she was able to go on her own, right? Although she was nervous, but she did a great job going on her own. I want to arm you enough to where you can gain the confidence. Understand this. Hey, we're going to be nervous, right? We don't want to potentially lose a deal. But again, remember, there's no deal to be lost. You don't have it yet, right? You have to earn it, right? And here's the thing. Even if you don't get it today, how is your lead follow-up, your post-appointment, right? Process. Because sometimes it takes them a while to get to decide to make that choice, right? So, all right. So now let's talk about a couple things, right? The very first thing I told you guys to do, is to have a daily schedule, right? What a perfect day in real estate looks like, right? So if you're working 9 to 6 at a bank, then where is your real estate day look like? Is it just the weekends, right? So, but if you're full time, right, and this is what you guys need to have this by next week, okay? It's a draft of what a perfect day in real estate looks like for you, right? And there's four things that needs to be on there. What time do you plan to wake up? So I need you guys to figure out what time is the ideal time to wake up. There's probably between Deborah and Larry. Some of you guys are in this group text that we have, right? I can only say that they're at least awake at a certain time, and Larry has the most consistent. Right, most of the week he will text us in the morning, right, with his affirmations. So starting today, I need you to text me and your manager, right? What time you wake up. So now we're gonna see who has that. Hey, I'm awake, excited, full of energy, right? That's one of my affirmations. It used to be, Mike Ferry said, "I'm alive, excited, full of energy." Right? We learned that in productivity school. Now I just want you to text, "I'm awake, I'm awake, excited, and full of energy." You may not be excited, or you may not have full energy. Just say, "I'm awake," or "Good morning," right? So now, can you create that consistency to where you're awake at a certain time? Not 5 days, 7 days a week. So I want you to text me for the next 30 days every day, right? I'm awake. Start with that, right? So that's one text, right? So starting tomorrow, you can say, "I'm awake," right? Because if you don't text me, I'm assuming, something happened. I'm hoping you're awake or at least you're alive, right? So far, it hasn't happened where I didn't get a text and someone actually died. Okay, so good thing, right? I hope that doesn't happen, right? But at least you can, because again, what's more important? Do you think, Brent? What time you sleep or what time you wake up?
What time you wake up?
Why?
Because then you're going, you're moving, you're doing your stuff. Hopefully your sleep is something you just do, right? You're not planning during your sleep, you're dreaming maybe, but when you're up
Okay.
and you're going, you got a schedule.
All right. Can you guarantee you're going to sleep?
Pretty much.
Can you guarantee you're going to wake up? No, right?
No.
So to me, they say, yeah, sleeping is more important. No, waking up is more important for me. So in my training, I always tell you, waking up is the key point to your day. It starts your day. You're awake. You're alive, right? That's where that affirmation came in. I'm alive, excited, and full of energy, right? I changed it to I'm awake, excited, full energy. Maybe we should make I'm awake, or maybe I'm alive, excited, awake, excited, full energy. Whatever your affirmation is, right? Remember, self talk, right, is what we say to ourselves every day, right? So that's why I want you guys to text us. Now, why do I say 7 days a week? Now, if you wake up at 9 o'clock, right, text, right? No big deal, right? Correct? Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what to text, okay? At the very minimum, you should text us when you wake up. Now, what you do after you send that text, I don't know what happens. Some may fall back to bed, sleep, right? 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 Some of you guys will probably set an alarm. Oh, I got to text Greg at 5 o'clock. And then you go back to sleep and I don't hear from you till 10 o'clock, right? We're going to figure out who is full time or who is really dedicated to their success in real estate now, right? Okay. So we're going to figure that out. Because again, not everyone wants to succeed at a high level in real estate. Not everyone. Because remember in the beginning, I asked you guys for did you get into real estate because of time or because of money? Right? Do you want to because you want to control your time, or was it money? Which one do you think? Did you guys get it for money or because you want to just work whenever you want to work? Yeah. No, only one. Only one. If you had to pick one.
Money is a great equalizer.
Money is the great equalizer is one thing. Okay. Zoom roll. What do you guys think? Why did you get into real estate? Because you wanted to become your own boss.
For a long term.
Right? You're going to answer this for yourself in the next couple of weeks. Because I always challenge people when they say money. Okay. Because if it was money, everyone will be earning money. Because can you earn money? We're going to figure that out by the end of today. What you need to do to earn money. Okay. If money is your driving force, meaning I want to earn a lot of money, like I want to earn $500,000. I'm assuming no one here had a job before earning $500,000 or even $250,000, right? If you did, please chime in, right? So, because I say in real estate, when agents hit about $150,000 a year, we see a big slowdown, right? Where it's not consistent the following year. Less than 10% have a consistent income every single year.
Wow.
Okay. Because here's the thing most people just want to work 8 hours or less in real estate. Okay. They were working 8 hours before, 8, 9 hours at a job, getting paid for 8 hours. And they want to just have less time with the same income. Because most people will just want to earn the same level of income. Very few want to strive for more. That's just the way it is, right? Because if everyone wanted, yeah, sure, everyone wants the money, right? But not everyone wants to work to earn the money, right? Okay. Because here's the thing what does an agent do to earn money? Find people, help them, and get paid. Brent, what do you think about that, right? Everybody? Okay. Clementina, right? Find people, help them, get paid. Pretty simple, yes? Right? Now, how do we help them? Show them houses, sell the house to them. How hard is that? How hard is it to learn the contract? Disclosures, right? How hard is it to find people? Honestly, how hard is it to find people?
It's not hard at all.
Divya, how hard is it to find people? Right? Melissa, how hard is it?
It really depends. Like if you're prospecting enough, then it's easy to find.
If you're prospecting, how come you're not prospecting?
Fear
Right?
of rejection.
I thought you said you want money, right? I thought you said you want to earn money, right? Right? Is money your driving force? Like, I want this money because this is going to afford me my rental property, new car, new house, vacation. Do you have those goals? Because again, see, this is where I have a problem with some agents or with people when I talk money, right? Blaze says money is the greatest equalizer. I don't think that's good, but I think it's more than equalizing, right? Money has to be your driver, meaning what you're going to do with the money. Not, so, if you have issues when we talk about money, let me know, right? Well, when I talk about money, it's how we measure ourselves in real estate, right?
Yeah.
Or in life, so to speak. Because again, money affords us options, right? So I really want you to figure out, do you really like earning money, right? Okay. It's not about, being money hungry, things like that. No, because remember, it's all about what you do with the money and what you become when you start earning the money, right? Does money change you? Money reveals your true self, in my opinion, right? It reveals who you are, right? If you're a good person, money, you're still gonna be a good person with money. You'll do something good with it. But if you're a bad person, now you're just a bad person with money, right? Again, it reveals who you are. Okay. And this is where I've had conversations with our agents before when they start earning money, especially when I see a change for the negative. All right. I'm quick to correct it because I believe, money is better when I have it. Okay. It's better when you have it. I tell people, right? Right. And there's that big joke. You want to solve the homeless problem? Don't be one, right? Okay. Or do something good with your money, right? To help the issues. But again, guys, money just gives us options. Okay. Options to take time off if that's what's important to you, right? To spend time with your kids, grandkids, right? Again, just gives you options. That's all it does, right? To do what you want. So here's one thing I want you guys to figure out this week is to complete the 2026 easy business plan, right? Okay. You guys seen that one, right? Tell me, guys. Let me pull that up. I have it here.
For you, Greg, was it time or money?
No, it was money.
Money.
Eventually, it was time. Okay. And I'll explain to you what I mean. Okay. All right. You guys, Zoom World, you guys see the 2026 easy business plan, right? Okay. Now this says 2026, right? We're going to change this to eventually 2027, but in a rolling 12 months, right? Well, how much income I have here going to earn, right? Want to earn, right? It's up to you. So let's figure out a number, right? So you can write this down right now. You can change this later. But what is the income that you truly want to earn, in the next 12 months? And be realistic, right? But to where, hey, what's possible, right? Is $1 million possible? For some of you guys, it is, but you have to change a lot of things, right? But for some, is it 100,000? It's all you need to pay your bills, right? Because one of the exercises we're going to do is to figure out what is our monthly nut, right? How much do we really need to earn to where, hey, I have to bring this home, otherwise I'll be divorced. Remember last week we talked about the divorce rate in real estate, right? Right. To where your wife or your spouse is like, it's not going to be happy, right? So, what is your monthly nut? So, you have to figure out what's my mortgage, rent, right? When I started, I didn't have rent, right? I lived with my parents. I had a car payment, insurance, right? So, my monthly nut was around $1,000, right? This is back in 91. Okay. My average commission was about $2,500, right? $2,000, $2,500, right? Before taxes, right? Before I paid my $500 transaction coordinator back then. Okay. I've told you guys before, I used to pay a TC $500 back in 91. Okay. Okay. And some of you guys are crying about that today. Okay.
I'm not saying word.
And here's the thing, right? You have to be able to multiply yourself, right? Okay. Because if you want to do 40, 50 deals, you have to learn to multiply yourself. When you guys are hitting about 10 to 15, 20 deals, that's where I'm going to ask you, hey, think about, if you're not using TC, you better be using it by then. As part of this program, you better be using your TC. I need you to look at a part-time or a full-time assistant. I'm not talking about a VA, a virtual assistant. I don't believe in virtual assistant because I don't have one. Some people do have one, so it's up to you if you want to go to that route. I like to have an assistant part-time or full-time in the office because they need to be able to, I need to be able to communicate with them. But the VA works also, but it's not something that I personally do myself. Okay.
Yeah.
How many deals is that, right? So I need you guys to figure this out. Okay. So fill this out, draft it, take a picture, send it to me, right? And your manager, right? Just take a picture. Part of this is just you doing the work. So I want you at the end of the day, fill this out and text it, right?
And should be for
Question for you, Greg.
26 to
This is the next 12 months. 12 months. Just think of the next 12 months. It's not 2026, like, hey, it's half the year, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we only have quarter of the year left because everything we do today pays us in 90 days. So I always work out of a rolling 12 months, right? Remember, if you had a bad day, bad week, bad month, it's okay. It's a new month next month. It's a new week, new day, right? So it's always a rolling 12 months. Okay, so that's how I teach you guys to do it, right? Yes, we have yearly goals, but it's always about a rolling 12 months. Okay, all right. So, any questions on the 2026 easy business plan? We're good, all right? So I'm gonna close that out, and let's see. Zoom world, you guys see the 32 touch point system on your screen? Yes, no? Let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So you guys should know this, right? Okay.
Mhm.
How many of you guys set up your TPMCO accounts? Right? All right. So by next week, you better have it already, right? Set up, right? Because I need you guys, as part of this program, is to set up your monthly newsletter system. Sending out. Okay, you got your samples. Great. Remember, I asked you guys to set up your account. It's free. Request the samples of the newsletters and also the client follow-up. Right? Because that is the basis of my training, and to build future business, those two things are gonna be needed. Okay, because everyone should have a monthly mailing system, right? This is for your leads, this is for your relatives, these are people that you know. Remember, you only mail to people you met or know or plan to meet in the next 30, 60, 90 days, right? So if I met you, I have your address, boom, you're getting one. The next 3 to 6 months, I'm going to figure out if I want to continue that. But usually I continue it until I figure out, oh, I don't want you as a client, right? Okay. And usually, and again, I've kept people in there where they bought from somebody else. They bought through a builder, through another realtor. It's okay, right? I'm going to build that relationship. And most of the time, I have outlasted that realtor that they worked with. They worked with that realtor for some reason, but through the years, I've developed this relationship, and now I've gotten the next listing. Remember, all my listings was someone else's buyer. If it wasn't mine, okay? The listing I'm going to take in San Francisco in a couple of weeks, it was someone else's buyer. Okay. How did I get that or that lead? Through a party, right? We just started conversation. Couple parties later, hey, actually, I'm thinking about selling my property. Now, will I get it? We'll see, right? But that's what I'm going to go after. But again, it's through that relationship building. They're getting my newsletter. I call them quarterly just to say what's going on. Okay, this weekend is what? Father's Day weekend, right? Do you know who are fathers in your database? So when should you start reaching out to them?
Right now.
Today, right? If you haven't yet, it's just, hey, do you, so what's the plan for Father's Day weekend, right? Huh?
So it's a long weekend.
Long weekend, why?
Juneteenth.
Oh, Juneteenth, right?
Yeah.
On Friday, right? Well, some of you guys may have heard of Juneteenth, right? It's been there for a couple of years now, right? If you know what that is, you can even mention that. But bottom line is, hey, it's about Father's Day weekend. Why? It's because it's nationwide, right? Worldwide, right? Worldwide, maybe. Or at least nationwide, right? So Father's Day weekend, right? So if you know they have kids, like right now I'm just reaching, hey, so what are the kids planning for you this weekend? Yeah. Now, if the kids are like, 2, 3, 4, 5 year old, you may want to change that question. But if I know, let's say, let's see, who do I know here have older kids, right? If I know they have older kids, I'll say, hey, so what are the kids coming? Hey, are the kids coming to California to visit you this Father's Day weekend? What are you guys planning, right? Or hey, what's your wife planning for the Father's Day weekend for you guys, right? Again, create the dialogue, right? Again, it's hey, how are you? How's the family, right? So what's going on this weekend? You may not even have to say, hey, what's happening this Father's Day weekend? You may just say, hey, so what do you guys plan this coming weekend? This is part of your quarterly calls. Remember, personal, social, business. I don't need to bring up business because if they're getting my newsletter, they're going to bring up real estate before I do. Hey, how's work? I hear there's a lot of layoffs going on in the tech industry. How's everything at? Do you know where they work? Do you even, if you know they work at Meta, that's a big thing, right? I mean, hey, how's your stocks at NVIDIA? I have several clients that NVIDIA stocks are doing pretty well, right? Okay. You guys know about the IPO last week, right? What's the biggest IPO last week? SpaceX, right? Some people jumped on SpaceX IPO, right? How about this? Instead of the IPO for SpaceX, do you know what industry or what other companies support SpaceX? So next week, okay, pop quiz. If you guys are into investments, right? Think of 5 companies that support SpaceX or at least in the same industry,
I believe
right? Because right now SpaceX is like going up, right? Because there's a lot of talk, right? The reason why I bring this up is this is just for conversations. Not necessarily you're going to invest in it. You just ask them, hey, did you guys hear about SpaceX last week? You got to have some basic knowledge about building wealth. I'm not going to say, hey, did you hear about the earth? Now there are some people here who are from the Philippines, right? So I say, hey, did you hear about the earthquake and the tsunami in the Philippines, right? Again, you have to pick the topic you want to talk about to people. How do I know what topic? Is because I know what they're into, right? Like I have some clients that are they're day traders, right? Sometimes I'll just text them, hey Brent, any good stock tips today? Right? Every so often, just to reach out, right? Remember, it's engagement.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Right? Okay. So again, you have to figure out, and this is where that CRM comes in. Right? Your CRM is the one that reminds you, oh, spoke to Brent today. So when should I call Brent next time? Your CRM should remind you, right? So if you don't have a good CRM yet, you need to think about the CRM, right? Huh? And all that is if you have a CRM, it takes the brain space out of your brain, right? You don't have to remember, oh, I need to call Melissa tomorrow. Oh, I got to call Divya next week. How are you going to remind that? You got too many things going on in your life to figure out, when is Pooja's birthday? When is my kid's birthday? Grandkid's birthday, right? Their grandkid's birthday. When is that? See, you got to have that CRM, that database, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to remember that. Because I personally don't remember all my nieces, Fortunately, I still remember some of our kids. We only have 2 kids. Sometimes I forget, like, which one's yours again? Yours the 13 around because they're both like 2 days apart, right? So again, it's just remembering the little things, right? That's where your technology comes in, right? Don't let technology bog you down. Let technology help you, right? So please make sure you understand the 32 touch point, right? And the most important thing here is monthly mailer, monthly email, 4 times personal calls, right? And of course, the text, a couple times a year. Okay. It says here 6 texts. It's up to you if you want to text more or less, but definitely, if for instance, I call Pooja today, she doesn't respond, right? Okay. Rarely do I leave voicemails. Although now, because of AI, it does translate it into a text, right? Okay. But most of the time, I don't leave a voicemail unless there's a specific message I want. I usually will follow up with a simple text. Like, hey, sorry I missed you. Hey, let's grab coffee, right? Or hey, just want to reach out and see, hey, if I know people's birthdays, that's text. Right? If I don't leave a voicemail, I'll call first. I always call first, right? On those quarterly calls, and then I follow up with a text if I don't leave a voicemail. Okay. Right. Okay. It's up to you what you want to do, because if I text, they don't have to listen to it. Okay. It's up to you. Okay. If you leave a voicemail or not. Okay. So any questions on this 32 touch point? Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. Last week, I sent you guys the 33 ways to attract more listings.
Mhm.
You guys got this, right?
Mhm.
And also every possible way to find a listing. I hope you guys have read this, or if you're not, you're gonna need to read this within next week, by next week, okay? If not, the following week. If not, the following week, right? I need you to figure out where are you gonna get your business, right? Because last week And when again I said, if I say last week, it's our previous conversations. Okay, for some of you, we've talked about there are 4 groups of people we need to target. Right. Number 1 is expireds and for sale by owners. Right. They're the first ones we need to be calling every day. The second is our leads. Right. Leads are the ones who have our quarterly calls that we need to make, or excuse me, the people that said, "Hey, I'll be ready, this spring, this summer." Right. Again, that will pull up in your calendar. Now you can look at your notes, right, and see, do you know I need to talk to him today, or do I need to push it back a couple days because he called me yesterday, right? It's not about calling them that day. It's about seeing and analyzing who they are today. It's like this. How often do you guys check your credit card statements, right? Or your bank statements? It has to be on a regular basis. That's what leads are. Okay. You need to check in on your leads every so often, right? And then the third group is your COIs. That's the quarterly calls, right? Okay. Because your leads are, hopefully it's more than a quarterly call. It's probably every couple of days. Okay. We'll talk about my lead follow-up next week. And of course, the fourth one is everybody else, right? That's the order you need to be calling. Right now, let's talk about expires for sale by owners. Some of you may not be comfortable yet, right? Because you're afraid of their objections. Here's the thing. The objections are the same no matter when you call. If you want to focus on expires for sale by owners, and there's not a lot in our area right now, just call them, right? Because if you call them, the same result is going to happen, no matter how skillful you are, right? Tomorrow there'll be new expireds. So here's the thing with expired, right? And this is what I did when I was you. I would call, right? And if I'm not comfortable going, I would ask my mentor, any of the 2, right? You guys should have 2 top agents that you guys can call. Hey, I got an appointment with an expired. It's tomorrow, right? What do I do, right? Are you available? If not, somebody else should be available, right? Now, what they would do is, okay, great. Did you pre-qualify, right? Because this was something I told you guys. You need to pre-qualify. You ask those basic questions, right? Where are they moving to? How soon do they have to be there? How much they want? And then, of course, deeper level about the pricing, about their motivation, urgency, right? Like, why 3 months? Job transfer. Why do they have to be there? Because just because they have a job transfer doesn't mean they have to be there. Or can that be pushed back, right? So you need to get deep into the motivation, urgency, and dollars, right? MUD, remember that one? Yeah. Like, how did they arrive at the price? What will happen if they don't get that price? Do they have other options, B and C, not just option A, right? Okay. So this is where practicing the scripts or knowing the scripts is really important. Okay. So I need you guys to figure out what is your top 10 or top 5 pillars of business, right? So where are you going to get those business? Because again, are you going to focus on expires for sale by owners? Maybe not, right? Again, there's different services you can get phone numbers, right? Or just driving around or looking at the MLS. Leads, it's up to you where you're going to get your leads, open houses, things like that. Okay. And what I want you guys to do is bring questions on how to, if you have issues with converting your leads, like what do I say to them? This is the purpose of this mentorship and also this whole program. Okay. Because the most important thing is the lead follow-up. We will meet people, a lot of people, guys. Okay. It's what we do with them after we've met them. If I did not follow up with this person at a party, years ago, I may not have the contact, right? Okay, anymore. Or I would have lost contact. But hey, they're getting their monthly newsletter. How do I know? Because I got their address. Oh, where do you live? Oh, San Francisco. Perfect. Great. Hey, which part of San Francisco? And he mentioned it, and I know where it is, right? It's in the outer Sunset. Again, this is where knowing general knowledge about areas. Like, do you even know where Newark is, right? If you're in the peninsula, or do you know Oakley, right? Or so you have to have some basic knowledge. Like everyone knows Sacramento, right? But there are suburbs of Sacramento.
Yeah.
Right? Just like the Bay Area, we have many cities, many counties. You should know. This is one of your homework now. I want you to visit a separate county, a separate city at least once a week, right? Now that's going to be taking some driving. Just focus in your main area, right? Just randomly go drive, right? Have you ever driven, 101 and gotten off each exit to see where it goes, right? Or even looked at the map, right? Because if I ask some people here, it's like, hey, do you know where Oakley is? Do you know where Pittsburgh? I mean, right? Some people will say, oh, I live in Brentwood. Oh, you mean LA? There's a Brentwood here in Northern California too, right? I made that mistake a while back. Okay. You know, because I thought they lived up here in Brentwood, but they are actually talking about Brentwood in Southern California. Okay, so just know that. All right. So please learn which one where you're gonna find your business, right? So any questions on how to find your business, right? Because there are many ways to find your future business, which is step 4, right? Step 4 feeds your leads, your COIs, which feeds your leads, right? Okay, right? So please review this handout, right? This should be not on today's email, but I think it was last week's email or a previous email. If for some reason you don't have any of the things that I mentioned today, please let me know. Okay, so all right. So I think let me see let's look at the 100-day one. Okay, you guys see the 100-point system, right? So every day starting today, take a picture of this, right? At the end of the day, and we want to see your point total at the upper right hand corner, right? So you're gonna print out a couple of these, right? Or if you're technology savvy, you can actually put in some text box and fill this out, right? Okay. I don't think we have this on a fillable PDF, but I want you guys to start completing this every single day, right? Because when you complete this, we're assuming you went to work. This is your time card, right? Now, how much time do you spend in the office or working? We're gonna see, right? Like how many doors did you knock? How many dials did you do, right? So here on the right hand side, this dials and doors in person, right? The way I teach you guys to use this is the attempt is a dash, right? You just cross it off, like you called and you just dash it off, right? If you exit, that means there was a conversation. Then you'll start to figure out, okay, how many doors, houses or phone dials do I need to make a contact? Okay, which is faster? Phone, right?
Call.
But sometimes it actually takes longer because no one answers. Does that make sense? Right? Sometimes it's faster to door knock because people actually answer the doors. So is it about the attempt or is it about the contact? Right? It's about the contacts, right? So which one are you more effective on? So some of you guys will like attend networking events like Chamber of Commerce or BNI groups, right? Business networking groups, right? Something, right? And your contacts is higher, right? Because every day you need to add about 5 to 10 new people into your database. That's the goal. You need to add 5 to 10 new names, phone numbers, addresses, emails, in some fashion every single day. If you want to grow the business, right? The faster you get there, the more deals you'll have sooner. Okay? Because if you don't, remember, if you don't add today, then you just didn't grow your database. So tomorrow you need to add more. Remember, it's how many days do you actually work every day? Because sometimes you'll be so busy with deals that you're not going to be able to create new contacts. All you're doing is lead follow-up, but that's where you make your money. It's in the lead follow-up. It's conversion of that lead into an appointment. Okay? Because like I said, we will meet a lot of people. The key is, can you follow up with them? Right? Okay? And to me, the easiest thing is mail and email. And then you got the call and text. To where they will not forget. It's like, I forgot you were still in real estate. I didn't know how to get a hold of you. You should never hear those words. Yeah. Okay. Right. So when you go to a party, they will talk to you about real estate. You don't have to bring it up because you're marketing to them. And that's why I figured out in the beginning of my career was, hey, real estate is something I can market to. I can market to them to where, hey, I do sales, I know real estate, right? Yeah. So that's where that newsletter is really important. Okay. So any questions on how to fill this out? Should be pretty easy, right, guys? Every day now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got two things you need to do every day now, right? Text when you wake up,
Yeah.
and of course, complete this every day that you work, right? Now, if you can do this as day off, right? That's okay. But at the end of the day, did you actually accomplish something? Okay. And what is that something? You call people, you follow up with people, you actually went on an appointment, you got a listing or sale, you actually got paid. What happened that day? Right? Can you do this for a whole year? Minimum 5 days a week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see some heads going up and down. I don't see some people because they don't have their cameras on yet, right? Okay. Guys, okay. See, like 9 to 12 every Monday. Are you at work? Right? We're not, okay. Probably next week, this is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter, the actual class time. Okay. Because we're going to actually be doing some work. Okay. So we're doing the setup right now. So, okay. So one of your work last week was supposed to see 5 houses per day. Right? Physically, real, or at least online. Right? Why do you want to see 5 houses? Is to build your knowledge of inventory,
Yeah.
knowledge of neighborhoods, right? Okay. Also, when you're there, you were supposed to door knock 5 to 10 houses around it, minimum, up to 25. It's what we call magic 25, right? You see the house, you go 6 houses to the left, cross the street, go 13, cross the street, 6 more, and you're back at the same house. Okay, 6, and 13 on the other side. Okay, so that's 25, guys. Remember that? So I talk about 25 a lot, and also threes. Okay, so the magic 25 says I knock 25 houses around every house I see. Why do I see 5 houses? It's because I want to see new inventory, right? I want to know how to get there at different streets. You'll learn different neighborhoods, right? That's the key there, right?
Yeah.
Now, for some of you, maybe there's no 5 listings, in your main area. Maybe by the end of the week, I ran out. Like if I only did Half Moon Bay, I would run out in 2 days because there's no new listing. We probably get 1 or 2 new listing a day, maybe, right? So I have to go outside because remember, we have to increase where we do business. But typically within 5 to 10 miles of where you live or work, there's enough business, right? Unless there isn't. Okay, then we need to expand that or go to a different area. Okay, right? So any questions on the previewing part or seeing houses? Also, once a week, I need you guys to see a new home development. So last week, right, or on Friday, I mentioned there's a big development going on on Mission Boulevard between Maori and Stevenson. Okay, who drove by there and saw the bulldozer? Okay, do you guys pass Mission Boulevard between Maori and Stevenson? Yeah. Right. If you look to the west side of Mission, you'll see a big, fenced off area, and you can see the bulldozers. Okay, you can see it. I'm like, wow, they finally got it approved. How long does it take for land to be approved for a structure for building? Typically 5 to 10 years or more. Okay. So where do you find that information? City websites, right? Like some of you guys have mentioned, like the Costco in Pleasanton. I knew that like 10 years before. Okay. It got approved, like 5 years later because there was a lot of hearings, right? So that's what happens, to get land to be entitled for development. It's about a 5 to 10 year plan usually, but there's usually an application that's filed, and you can see that on the city websites, okay, or local newspaper, like someone applied for a permit, okay, or it's finally approved. And this is where I still subscribe to the Chronicle, the Mercury News, and the local Argus. And I pick up, newspapers from time to time, okay? Also, Biz Journal, right? That's the Silicon Valley Business Journal. So if you know about these things, that's an online version one now. They don't have a printed version anymore. But you need to see what's happening in the Bay Area or in your cities. Like some of you guys have city based type of printed paper, right? Newspaper. Like Palo Alto has one. San Mateo has the Daily News, I think. So again, there's local papers. You need to be seeing those things. But if you just go to the city websites every so often, you'll see some news of what's happening in the area, right? And then you'll start to spread news or information. Because some of those things are going to be important for you to just have a topic of conversation with people, right? Like in Half Moon Bay right now, there's a big talk about this new affordable housing complex that people are not happy with it, okay, because of how it's structured. But so we need to have that as a conversation piece when we're door knocking or when we're just talking with people. Yeah. So you guys see this, right? The top part is real estate stuff, right? Oh, thank you for telling me. Okay. Okay. What happened? Okay. See at the bottom? It says training and then life at the bottom, right? So, did you guys exercise today? So at the end of the day, right? Exercise, 30 minutes, you get 10 points, right? Here's the thing, right? Did you read anything like the newspaper or a book, right? You get points, right? Oh, volunteer work, right? Oh, quiet time. Do you guys have quiet time? Okay. What we have there is basically is when you have peace. Some of you guys, that's all day long is peace, right? This is you guys have to we talked about meds before, right? Meds. Did you take your meds today? Some of you guys remember that, right? Zoom roll. Do you guys remember that, right? What does meds stand for? Right? Meditation.
I said
Okay.
medication. Meditation.
It's not medication, okay? Not medi.
Right.
Meditation, not medication.
Right.
Okay, let me get that straight. Meditation. Okay. What that means is you need to have some peace, to where you center yourself. Just when you just say, okay, some of you guys will do yoga, whatever, right? But basically, it's you have quiet time, right? To because a lot of noise sometimes happens, right? So you just have to have time by yourself. Some of you guys, I've challenged you to have 24-hour, a whole day of day of peace, where you disconnect from technology. You tell your family, I will not be reachable all day today. I'm leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll be back at 9 p.m. If you call me, it's going to voicemail, right? Okay. Now, some of you guys can't live without your phone. So I teach you a different structure. Okay. But bottom line is to where there's no social media, there's no transactional stuff, right? For a whole day. Basically, it's a time for yourself. I've challenged some of you guys. It's called a day of peace. Okay. So some of you guys will see who can actually do that one of these days, right? So where hey, you don't talk to anyone, which means that you don't go to drive-through. You don't, you might be able to order online for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but to where you don't talk to anyone. Can you imagine that? Some of you guys, pretty? Imagine that, Melissa, Brent, you don't talk to anyone for a whole day, not even your spouse, Brent, right? Right? So imagine that, guys. You don't even talk to your spouse or kids for a whole day. Talk about peace, right? All right. Some of you guys are like, yeah, I'm looking when, right? But just understand this, right? There are things you can do that's not specific to doing business in real estate, but working on the business or on yourself. Okay. So any questions on this, please let me know, right? So every day now.
Question.
Yes.
So
Melissa?
how you have the plus? So if I do an hour of walking or do a triathlon, is that 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Is that 10 points just for the whole thing or for the time I've spent doing it?
No, that's the whole thing. You ran a marathon today, Melissa, you'll get 10 points.
Okay.
You don't get 10 times 26.
And then
Okay.
if I see 20 houses in a day doing a buyer's tour,
Yeah.
is that each separate one or is that one for
Yeah,
each?
each tour,
Okay.
right? Each conversation. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so on the activity, it's per event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these is so if you exercise in the morning, Melissa, like you ran a marathon in the morning and then you made half marathon in the evening, you get 20 points because those are two 30
Two
minute
separate things.
events.
Got it.
You got it?
Got
Okay,
it.
so it's no matter, you don't get bonus points after 30 minutes. All right. All right. Okay. So if you
Got
bike 30 minutes to work, you bike home 30 minutes, that's 20 points. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. So these are each event. Right? That's how you have to look at it, right?
So when we
Okay.
door knock and we're walking for hours, we can use that as exercise as well, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, hopefully you're walking fast, your heart. But if you're lollygagging, again, you're on your own. So reward yourself if you want, right? But again, remember, don't fool yourself, right? But yes, I use my door knocking as exercise. That's part of the reason why I like to door knock.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I see stairs, sometimes I'll just speed walk up the stairs, right?
Hmm.
It's part of your stairs, right? One flight. Okay. Again, you just have to see how do you reward yourself, right? That's what this is for, right? Bottom line, as your manager, your mentor, your leadership team, we just want to see, hey, did you work today? What'd you do today? Right? Did you accomplish anything? That's what this is for. Is what are your daily accomplishments? And you'll see this is meant for you, right? Not necessarily for us. You send it to us so we can help you.
I have another question.
Yes.
You were given the acronym for MEDS. I got meditation. What's the EDS?
Okay. So you got the meditation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The E is
Exercise.
exercise, right?
Okay.
Right. And the D is
Diet.
diet. Diet means eat well. Doesn't mean, cut down your calories. No. Sometimes you need more calories, right? It's basically what's your diet, meaning, we talked about smoking, drinking before, right? I'm not saying stop that, but, we want you to be healthy. That's what diet means, right? Just be healthy, right? Okay. Hey, I love Doritos. I still get them, right? I go through a half a bag from the Costco one, the big one, the family size. Sometimes in half a day, right? I mean, in one day I got half the bag, right? I haven't done a whole bag yet, but hey, sometimes you're just whatever, right? You're hungry, right? You want that, but it's not as long as it's not every day. Everybody, right? A bag of Doritos every day is not good.
Oh.
I don't know, once a week, once a couple of times a month, maybe, right? But see, here's the thing: you can, how well do you do the other days, right? Is it Doritos today, Ruffles tomorrow, Lay's the next day? Then that's not good, right? You guys get it?
Mhm.
Okay. Moderation, right? Maybe. So meditation basically is where you can just center yourself, right? Um, Second is for exercise. Do some. We want you to have good health, right? That's the main thing here. D is for diet. Just watch what you eat, right? I watch what I eat every time I put it in my mouth. Okay. Right. And of course,
Mhm.
S is
Sleep.
okay. Blaze says sex. Okay, that's okay.
I mean, that's
Okay.
very
All right.
important too.
Sleep is important, right? That's the sleep, right? Sex, what? So it's up to you what your meds are. Okay? Meds, right? Your med, it's not medication. Okay. Meditation,
Mhm.
exercise, diet, and sleep, right? Sleep is very important. What we mean by that is listen to your body, right? Do you need 7 to 8 hours a day? You'll figure out eventually you don't need 7 to 8 hours. You guys have lived through less. But eventually your body will need to catch up. Okay. Like I said, I don't know how many of you guys have ever slept for 24 hours, not straight, but to where you didn't get out, you went to the bathroom, drink water, but to where you actually slept 24 hours. I did. Where, I didn't touch my phone, didn't eat, right? I was just so tired. Okay. How many days have you gone without sleep? Have you guys gone through 24 hours without sleep?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Travel.
Try over 48 hours without sleep.
Like
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like 8 hours sleep, like to where, you're just traveling.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, to where, yeah, you're getting hour here and there, because you're so busy.
Yeah.
This will happen. Okay. Sleep is a necessity, not a requirement necessarily. Okay. You can do with less sleep. Moms, or even, dads, right? When you had newborns, hey, it's sleep is a necessity. It's not a requirement, right? Or maybe it is a requirement, right? But yeah, some of you guys have lived with less sleep, right? So here's the thing: if you're excited for the day, sleep will become a necessity, right? Because you got so many things to do, especially if you have other fun stuff to do besides work, right? Okay. But remember, all work is no fun, right? So you got to have fun into that day also. Okay. And this is where I challenge some of you guys to get out of the house. Okay. Right. I know with COVID, everybody was stuck at home. You need to get out of the house because remember, people are not going to find us at your house, right? Or in your office, even. We need to be out there, right? Go to the park. You might bump into somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Walk the park, in Lake Elizabeth, right? Just walk around the park, just wear your interior shirt like Blaze all the time, right? Who knows? Put something on the back. Ask me about real estate. Put in the back of your shirt. Or if you're at Starbucks, right? Have your computer. Ask me about real estate on the back. Make a flyer. Right? We used to do that before COVID. Some of us would just bring our laptop and hey, we just send it. We have real estate. We're calling our clients. And right now, it's really quiet at Starbucks. That could be your mobile office. And again, that's okay. Let's not use Starbucks. Your coffee shop, right? Wherever you are, right? Just have your real estate stuff. Look like a real estate agent. Someone may stop you. Say, hey, are you a realtor?
How did you
Right.
know? My shirt.
Right. Right. Again, if you're just talking on the phone, though, just be a little sensitive, right? Because sometimes, we'll pick up a phone call, right? Just be a little sensitive. Although, we do want to let them hear that we are talking real estate, right? But hey, just check your emails there, right? Okay. Instead of going to the Intero office, go to a local shop, support the shop, grab a sandwich, right? And work out of there. They will allow you. They'll even let you use their Wi-Fi, right? Okay. And some of them have very fast Wi-Fi. Just be careful, right? All right. So that's that. Okay. So any question? What we've covered the 100-point day. We've talked about your 32 touch point system, right? Talked about your easy business plan. Okay. One of the other handouts that I had was, how to do real estate investments. We're not going to talk about that, but I just wanted you guys to have that again.
How do I get a copy of this one?
It's on our email that I sent this morning, but if not, there's some here.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
I like.
Right. So questions so far?
I'm
Pretty-
curious about the 33 ways to find a listing or something.
Yes. This one?
Yes.
Yeah. What about it?
I couldn't find it. I was
It
looking
was
at
on the email. Oh, it was the email last week. Check it from last Monday,
No,
Sunday. But
it's
text me.
not.
It's not
No?
there.
Okay.
I looked.
If it's not there, okay, I'll make sure I send it out today to the whole group. Okay. Okay. Or do this for me. If you don't have it, text me directly. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Bonita.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Pretty question.
Yeah, so the 100-day point system,
Yes.
there are too many things in that.
Yeah.
That sometimes if I have to do so much, then it
Oh,
gives me anxiety. So is it okay to just pick 2 or 3 things and just
Yes.
focus on that, fill it
Yep.
up, or
Yep.
do we have to like?
No. See, we have all these activities is because those are the activities you can do, right? You can't do all of them. Like some people don't like to door knock, right? Some people don't even like to call. But here's the thing, right? What else are you doing to generate business, right? And if we will see a trend, okay, like for the past week, did you make calls? Because maybe this whole week is all about training because you're new. That's fine, but at least you see some reward, right? Okay, that's what this is for. It's like a reward system for you, right? It's like, oh, the past week, this is what I did. Okay,
So is
because
there
again, it'll just show trends.
a minimum points we should target to at least achieve a minimum points, like total
100 per day.
points?
100 per day.
100 per day?
100 per day.
What's a good, like yes, you worked hard to.
100 per day.
That's it.
That's why it's called a 100-point day.
So y'all are trying to negotiate.
It's 100.
It's 100.
You have to get to 100 per day. Okay.
Okay.
For some of you guys who are in the Think 25 group, you got to talk to 25 people per day, right? 25 points. We don't get points for attempts. Does it make sense?
Right.
If I call, no one answers, get a point? No. Got it? So if you're having 25 conversations per day, that's 25 points, right? Your exercise, that's 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I read something, like I reviewed the contract, right? Or I read, the handouts I gave you guys, right? Okay. You read the 33 ways to attack more listings. Okay. So you read something. That's another 10 points. Oh, I only did 15. Okay. Half that, right? See, right? You get half credit. Okay. So if you didn't do 30 minutes, right? Quiet time. You got to have quiet time, right? So you get 5 points automatically, right? Pretty every day, right? Yeah. I get quiet time, right? Okay. How many times do I have quiet time? Times 5. Every hour I get 15 minutes quiet time, John says, right? Okay.
Would a training like this be considered 60 points?
Yeah. So the training, right? So like here, you guys are here for 3 hours, right? Okay. So how much time do you get? I mean, how many points do you get? It's one event, right?
It's 60.
So you get 60 already. So today you guys already get 60 points if you're here, right? Some of you guys are there. Yeah, my Zoom is on, but I'm not actually there. I know Pretty, Melissa's there, Brent, I see every so often. I know Brent has another meeting to go to. So some of you guys,
I
yeah.
am here.
Yeah. So you're
I'm
here, right?
listening.
Yeah, I know Tamara, right? So again, I should say, if you turn on your Zoom, you get extra points, right?
Yeah.
Right? Or you only get points if we see you, right? Right. It's up to you. I'll leave it up to you guys how to reward yourself, right? Okay. So 100 points should be easy, right? Come on, right? Some of you guys, yeah, it's easy if we attend training, right? But no, but again, you have your own training. You have YouTube Premium, right? You guys have other training you can do. But understand this, right? You can get 100 points. Can you do that 5 days a week?
Yes.
We'll see, right? Can you do it for 4 weeks out of the week every month? Every day you're supposed to work, right? Can you do it? So this is where we're going to see it. And here's the thing, right? Some of you guys filling this out is even hard. It's like you don't want to do it for some reason,
Accountability.
right? The accountability. Yeah. People's like, I don't, I got 1 point today, or I got 0 today. Hey, at least you reported, right? Again, are we going to say, hey, okay, here's your license, Pretty? You got 0 for this whole week. Oh, we're going to say, hey, what's going on? What's happening, right? Because things happen in our lives, right? I'll say, hey, Jess, what happened? What happened last week? You had a great week this week. How can we improve from last week, or vice versa, right? Hey, what happened? Pretty, Twinkle, what's going on, right? And sometimes, hey, I'm too busy with my deals or personal stuff or whatever. But you just have to know, is your focus was to work that day, right? Because we're going to figure out who really wants to earn $250,000 minimum per year. To where, you should be increasing your business 20% per year.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yes.
For the next 5 years, you have 20% growth, which means you'll double every 5 years. Now, again, where do you want that level to be? Right? Because like for me, as I said before, money was to me the reason why I got into real estate. Because like, wow, how much can you earn? 1991, my mentor he earned in 1990 $273,000. What? I was gonna go back to school when I got out of the Air Force to earn like 40, 50,000 in tech. Maybe I should have stayed there, but but I said, wow, what do you do? Find people, help them get paid. I said, huh? That's simple, right? Of course, I had to learn stuff. But bottom line is, hey, that's what drove me. And eventually, I would take 3-4 months off during the summer. Because some of you guys know I race bikes, motorcycles, right? When I was in my 20s. So you have to figure out how you're gonna, what's your time off? I'm busier in the winter time, from fall to winter, because I like to take summers off, right? See, here's the thing, right? When do you want to take your vacations? So in a couple of weeks, we're gonna outline your next 12 months. Where's your vacation time? Again, have a plan, right? And then work that plan. Some of you guys say, I don't know if I want to take a vacation here. Well, put it on the calendar. And you'll figure out if you put it on the calendar and you work the time you were supposed to work, you're going to have more time off because you can afford to do that. Okay? Because that's what you'll figure out. That hey, you have to figure out when is those 5 days. Like right now, Wednesdays are supposed to be my day off, right? Because that's what I figured out, right? Now it's up to you what day that is. Now, does that mean I don't work every Wednesday? No, sometimes things come up, right? That's called overtime.
Don't call break on Wednesday, y'all.
Right? You can call, but if I don't pick up, you know what's happening, right? Right? Okay. So any questions on the handout so far? Before we get to the main meat of today's thing is the let's see, which one is it? Okay, here's a sample of a daily, right? We'll talk about it. So I want to see what your daily schedule looks like, right? So here's a sample. This is one of the attachments, right? Okay.
Do you have that one printed here too?
Not the 100, not this one, right? But it's on the attachment. Okay. So let's talk about the top agent checklist. Okay. That's what. So have that. If you guys have that,
Just a sec.
I'll give you guys an outline next week of what my day or week looks like. Okay. So besides your perfect day in real estate, I want you guys to now outline what your week looks like. Like if you have kids pick up right now, and again, it's going to change for some of you guys who have kids because when the kids go back in school, your schedule may be different, right, than what it is now, right? Okay, so let's look at this, right? So Zoom mode, you guys can see this, right? Let me see if I can change this up.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you guys should, these are the minimums that you guys should have in your, as part of your system, as you move forward, right? Okay. You should have a good CRM, right? Okay. It says here divide by 60, right? That means every other month you're going to be calling them. That's why we have here 60, right? Or 90 days, right? Mm-hmm. You should have a monthly newsletter, right? A monthly market update, meaning, there's an email going out to them, right? That just talks about the market, right? Not necessarily, hey, these how many sales, but something that talks about real estate, like, interest rate update, something like that. That's where the neighborhood news comes in, right? Or something that you can send. It doesn't have to be like so long. It could be just a simple email that says, hey, just want to remind you, if you know anyone that's looking to buy their first home, California is giving away, like the California Dream Home, was it California Dream Home program?
Dream for all.
In January, right? Yeah. That could be the email that you sent, right? And then it could be an email that talks about the homestead, yeah, or different things like that, right? Or ADUs, right? That's what I mean. Again, not just, hey, there's this many sales or, it's a great time to buy or sell, that's not what you want. Your newsletter will take care of that. But the informative email is something that, hey, thanks for sending that to me. Okay. I don't have a lot of unsubscribe on my email because it's timely information. That's what you want. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. It says here past clients, right? Okay. But this can be doesn't have, remember, no one's past client. Everyone is a future client. Jess buys the house through me. She's going to meet John in an open house. Twinkle is door knocking. Blaze is going to call her. So she's going to meet other realtors, right? Now I need to be able to market to her enough to where, hey, if she's thinking real estate, she's going to need to think about me, not the other people that she meets. Right? Because there's a differentiating factor. And here's the thing, most realtors don't have a monthly mailing program. They'll mail every so often, but they don't really have a monthly mailing consistent. Right? Our top agents do because they've listened and said, okay. And some of them use the TPMCO, right? Some of them use Reminder Media, which, they have that budget. They like that program. That's okay. But TPMCO is the best one. Okay. If you have something better, and we will know when we talk to these top agents, okay, and see what do they do. What's their lead follow-up system look like? Okay. You got the seller alerts, which is Real Scout, right? Okay. Not only for buyers, but also for sellers. Did you know Real Scout, you can do a monthly CMA?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do a monthly CMA. Just like you have the listing alerts, the daily searching.
Yeah.
You can set up a monthly email through Real Scout for listings in their neighborhood. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, contact their tech support, or we'll cover that in one of the classes. Okay. Local Popeyes, right? If your clients live in the area, figure out once a year for you to see them, or for you guys to get together, coffee, lunch, right? The holiday gift, I don't do this on a consistent basis. I know Jason does this.
Yeah.
Okay, some of you guys know Jason Pham from Fremont. He does this holiday gift every single year for his COI. I don't do that. Okay, that's his main budget for the year, right? If you guys know Jason or want to figure that out, like I said, we'll interview him. You can find out what he does. Okay, I don't do closing gifts. Okay, some people do. Once in a while, I'll put a champagne in if there's a fridge in the sale, right? Something like that. But usually, I bring something for the housewarming party. How do I know there's a housewarming party? Because guess what? I ask about it. Hey, so when is the housewarming party, right? That's part of my post calls. Right? Oh, we're doing some painting first. Hey, make sure you remember to let me know. I love to bring something, right? Okay. So that's how I get into the family. Okay, is to try to as many housewarming parties as I can. If I happen to miss it because something is happening, then I at least send the food. Okay, right? You send food. Okay, you guys know about Uber Eats, right? or food delivery, right? Okay, so there's always a representation of me at those housewarming party, right? It's usually more than what they expect, right? Yeah, when people say, hey, Greg, so what kind of housewarming party? Gifts, because people will ask you, hey, what kind of gift, when we close, what kind of gift should I expect? Some people are very forward with that. And I tell them, it's not something I don't do, but hey, let me know when your housewarming party is and I'll help cater it, right? Depending on the sales price, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. We talk about neighborhood farms, right? At least 750 to 1,000 homeowners, right? Because I need you guys to pick an area that you're going to specialize in. Okay, and pick an area, of 1,000 homes or homeowners around where you live or work, because you need to be able to visit this once a month, a couple times up. The whole farm. It should be a couple days out of your whole month. Okay, I've talked to you guys about that before. Okay,
What's like a good amount of time to knock? Like for you, you're an expert, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
looking at these numbers, and as someone who doesn't door knock, it's hella overwhelming. And I'm like, holy shit, that's 1,000 houses. What would you say your average is that you door knock, and how long does it take you?
Typically 2 or 3 hours in a given day,
Okay.
right? But sometimes longer, depending on what I need to accomplish.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll just door drop. Okay, and in the next,
Do you still knock? And
Yes.
if they don't answer, do you just leave it?
Sometimes I don't have time. Like I've been out there 6 o'clock door dropping.
Just dropping stuff yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
And most of July and some of August, yeah, you guys we'll do like a whole week. This is what I do. Okay, like this Thursday and Friday, you guys can shadow me. Some of you guys, right? I'll tell you what my schedule
You
is.
said this Thursday, Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's up to you how much you do. Okay, and it's all about what we're doing here. Okay.
So how many was it in 2 to 3 hours roughly?
Usually about every hour, usually you meet like 5 to 10 people. That's average. I've never had an hour where I didn't see someone.
Sorry, I guess what I
Okay.
mean is in the 3 hours, just say an hour. You go
Yeah.
door knocking, you meet 5 people. How many
Yeah.
doors do you think you can accomplish with those 5
Probably
conversations?
20, 25.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't have a farm like Mission San Jose because their driveways are long and hilly. Astor Valley, same thing, right? So you have to you have to know your neighborhoods, right? Like if you live in a hilly area, right? Yeah. I think I have like 5 canyons. I think I door knocked that a couple times. It's not a farm that I would do unless I had a deal there. Okay. Okay. So look at this. Okay. And then of course open houses. Talk about mega open houses. And again, for my open houses, typically, right? When I do an open house, unless it's my listing or like I think after Father's Day, I'll probably do an open house and you guys can see what I do. But it's nothing hard. The most important thing about an open house is the activity you do outside the open house. So Pooja mentioned, the open earlier. She said that traffic is getting less, right? Why do you think traffic is less?
For Well, if it's a newer listing, I don't know why, but if it's older listing, it's just becoming a little stale or.
Okay. All right. Here's how my thought about traffic. Okay. When you have a lot of people coming, that means you have a lot of lookers. When you have less, that means you have less lookers.
More focused on buying.
Not necessarily more focused on buying, but more interested about doing something in real estate.
Sure. Okay.
Right. I've done open houses where people say, "Oh, it's been slow," right? You door knock the neighborhood, and most of the neighbors come because of the door knocks. Okay. I'm like, how come you guys haven't seen this? Oh, we didn't even know it was on the market. There are some neighbors who don't pay attention about real estate unless someone brings it up to them. Okay. There are people that are waiting for that house to come on the market, right? They see it and they want to see it the first weekend. There are people like that. We can't control how many people come in, but we can control how many people we talk to. And remember, the purpose of that open house is to get other listings in the area. Okay. Right? Not necessarily buyers. And that's who you get with open house when you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
So how do you attract those buyers? Price it right. Okay. The reason why people are not just coming in to see it is because people have seen it on the internet. They've seen the pictures and the price wasn't attractive enough. Got it? So nothing brought them there. Right? Right? So you have to be aggressive with pricing, especially in this market. And when we talk about pricing strategies and in future classes, we need to know our market. So that's why we need to see 5 houses a day. So we need to know neighborhoods, and we need to know pricing, not today, but what was pricing before, and we can see trends. That's why we need to see houses. Okay. So part of your homework this week is to go on broker tour or see houses. So every week you need to see 25 houses physically. Can you do it?
That would, for me personally, it'd be easier to set 2 days versus like 5 every day. Sometimes
Yeah.
if I can just club them in.
Yep.
Like Divya and I went last week together. And
Yeah.
after the 4th house, we could figure out why it's sitting on the market for this long.
Yep. Yeah. Again, it's up to you when. The goal is to get to 25 houses a week. It's better if you have your own buyer because that's part of previewing. Right? You can, when I was you, I would just try to find any buyer. Hey, come on and let's go to some houses. Because it's better that I'm with a buyer when I'm previewing houses. But sometimes I preview so I can door knock. Right? It's up to you. Okay? Nowadays with the internet, you guys can see most of the house, just on online, right? But the driving part to it will teach you neighborhoods, and sometimes you can't tell because some agents are pretty good hiding the flaws on the internet.
Oh, yes.
You're like,
So you mean
Did-
to say prices less and do the overbidding then, after you see how much the traffic is coming?
yes, right? So how many of you guys do post open house door knocks? Like you didn't get, you wanted to meet the neighbors and tell them how the activity of the open house is, or just let them know, hey, we just did an open house this past weekend. We had some people coming through. They were looking for different types of floor plans. I was wondering, do you have the 3 or 4 bedroom? Right? How was the open house traffic? They ask you. Well, it's not what we expected. I only had one person, or I had no one. And it's how you respond to their questions, right? If it's not a heavy traffic, I'd say it's not just what we expected. It looks like buyers are looking for different types of floor plans right now. I was wondering, what type of floor plan do you have? Right? This is how you get to know and start that conversation with people. So this is what I want you guys to really do is figure out what people are telling you, and I'll give you what I would say. Right? Because remember, all the scripts, books will have certain words, but it may not be the words that I personally would use or that you may want to use. You have to create your own dialogues up here, guys, okay? So it can come out. So when you're out there, when people say, hey, how long you been selling real estate? What's your answer? So I want you guys to write that down. How long you been selling real estate? What are people saying out there to you that you may be afraid to hear or want a better way to respond to it? Okay. That's why I need you guys to really come out as part of this class. It's Like the question, when's the best time to prospect? It's when you do it. When are people home? It's when they are home. I don't know. So how do I figure that out? I door knock the area and figure it out. Like there are some parts of the neighborhoods where most people are home in the evening. Is that the best time? Well, they have to eat and cook dinner too, right? So maybe it's not the best time. Is it the weekends? Bottom line is you do what you do. We do what we do when we do it. Best time to do it is when you are willing to do it. There's no perfect time, okay, everybody? Yes, there's a more likelihood that people are home, but that doesn't mean they will answer the door. 1/3 of the people are always home. That's how I tell you guys. 1/3 of the people are always home, but they will not always answer the door. Like we don't answer our door unless we know who's on the ring. Right? We look at it, right? And sometimes, hey, I'll just open it just to engage the people. Right? But here's the thing. If people know who you are because they've been receiving your marketing materials, they recognize you, more people will open that door, especially if it's in that farm. Remember we talked about, right? They've been seeing you for the past 12 months. They've been seeing your marketing materials. They see you on Ring or, they'll engage you more. But if you're looking at this like, hey, I need business the next 3 months, and if it doesn't work, I'll stop. It's not going to happen. This is a 5-year long process, guys. Okay. When that 5 years starts, it's up to you. It's either now or we'll just start again in 6 months.
Do you think that farming could be successful without the door knocking aspect? Like
yes,
get cards and stuff and
yeah,
drops?
yeah. Farm, neighborhood farming works even without the door knock. Although
Just cost more
you need, yes, it will cost more money, and you better have great materials. The door knocking separates you from everybody else.
Gotcha.
Remember that likability part, right? That interaction. They'll see who you are. More people open the doors after a couple of months because they'll see you. They'll know who you are. You're not soliciting.
That guy again.
Damn it, let me just open the door.
Right?
Stop knocking.
So here's the thing, right? Remember, if people know who we are, they either want to talk to us or not. If they don't want to talk to us, it's because they have no need for us.
Sure.
Right? And if they have no need for us, that's okay. Now, if you're door knocking and other signs are coming up, you need to figure that out. Like, well, how come everybody's listing with everybody except me? Is it because everybody's cousins in real estate? I don't know. You need to figure it out. But if you're consistent in an area, you will start to get traction and you will start to get business. Yeah, at least the opportunity. Because when you meet them for a listing presentation, how's your presentation? How do you handle objections? Right? So it's not just, hey, I'm in the door, I'm in. No. You need to be able to handle other things too. Okay? Did you price it right? How's your open house, right? Okay? Because one thing that I separate myself is how I do open houses. I tell my clients, I try not to do my personal open house unless I want to, right? Because I tell them sometimes, open houses. Do you know why agents do open houses week after week? Right? I tell them if it's okay. Again, there's two sides to every coin, so to speak. Okay, to every story. All right. So social media, it's up to you. See here, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, Google My Business, right? YouTube, TikTok. Just have a page so people can find you. You should have a LinkedIn, Facebook, right? I don't post, but there's feeds there from other people, right? I put it on my timeline, right? Or I remove people on my timeline and people see it, right? Okay. Like people always ask me about our vacations, right? Because my wife keeps posting, right? So it's kind of, I don't really post much, but some of you guys are good with social media. Keep doing that, but don't do it to where it's, remember, social media, not real estate media. Don't make it too real estate. Otherwise, they're not going to listen. They're not going to see you, or they're not going to look at you. Okay. Now, some agents will do like their clients, right? When they bought a house or when they sold, right? You can do that. You can do all of that. Unless my clients ask, I don't really do that. Right. So, okay, like sold, right? In, in front of their house, right? So it's up to you. Okay. So questions on this. Are we good?
So Greg, what is
Yes.
the earliest time and what is the latest time it's okay to start the door knocking?
Typically, I don't door knock before 9 or after dark. Right? But typically an hour before sunset, I stop when it gets dark, right? So typically, but most of the time, most of my door knocking are like 10 to 2 because that's when I have time. Sometimes I'll do it like now, after the open house or something, right? Because it gets dark at 9 o'clock, right? It's okay, right? But I've never door knocked past 8 usually, okay? Past 8 p.m. because I want to go somewhere else too, right? But hey, like I said, if you have nothing better to do, do real estate, right? Okay. So let's see. This is about COIs, right? Okay. Now, some people use Excel as a start, right? Excel just works just as fine. It's just how much you use it. Remember, technology is good. Any technology is good as long as you use it, and it accomplishes what you do, right? Like some people say, have been telling me, Greg, you should get an electric car. It's just not me, right? Okay. Again, if you think it works, try it out and see what happens. Okay, so now all these have different ideas, right? Door knocking, right? Cold calling, open houses. Okay. Again, this came from one of our top agent meeting before, right? And I just changed it up a little bit. So please look at it. Okay. So I'll leave it up to you guys to read this, but this is from our top agents. Okay. So any questions? Anybody got a chance to look at this earlier today? Any thoughts?
Greg,
Yes.
thank you so much for providing this information.
Yeah.
I was a little late jumping in, but this document that you're sharing now, it was sent to us via email, correct?
Yes, it was in this morning's email, I believe.
This morning's email. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. If you don't see, if any of these items are not on your email just today, please let me know. Okay. Text me directly to remind me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this one is just to say, I don't think I've sent this before. But it was just from this morning. Okay. So now let's on your daily schedule, right? Where is role play and practice in your schedule?
First
Of course,
today.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna send you guys the video of Ron Cronin and Tom and Patrick Ferry doing the Mike Ferry scripts, right? So how well do you guys know the Mike Ferry script? Right? They just listed the just sold script, right? Right. Remember, there are 7 basic questions, right? Okay. You have to master those. Okay. The pre-qual script, right? Those can be used at any time of your conversation. Okay. So when we're prospecting, what challenges do you guys have now when prospecting? Is it getting to prospect, or when you talk to people, is what you're saying? So where's the challenge there? Let's talk about that.
I would say for me, Greg, it would be exactly that. It's like I have no problem making those initial contacts. It's what I'm saying and how to secure the follow-up.
Okay. All right. So perfect. So you meet people. Remember, we meet a lot of people, right? Where we will make our money is in the lead follow-up, right? Right? Okay. We meet people. So question, do you guys know where to meet people? I need you guys to figure that out. Okay. Do you know where to meet people? Are you going to meet them door knocking? Are you going to call people? You're going to do networking events, have throw parties, where are you going to meet people? Okay. Once you've met the persons or the people, right? Now your lead follow-up starts. Are you able to get people's name, address, phone number, and emails, right? In some fashion, right? The way you ask, is helpful because the way you interact with them, you'll be able to get people's name and phone numbers, and emails, address. Okay, it's not about hey, what's your phone number, what's your email, right? Yes, you have to ask that eventually, but how do you set that up, right? So Tayuna, when you're talking with people, is the challenge about getting their contact info or continuing the conversation?
Continuing the conversation, because I guess if we're talking about prospecting, these are people that are not in my circle of influence. These are people that I'm meeting for the first time. And
Okay.
so I just this past weekend, I was very intentional with my 100 point touch point. I mean, the goal. And I
Yes.
communicated with at least three people, but there was I didn't capture a lead. Like I made the conversations, but I didn't know how to follow up or continue the conversation once I've introduced myself
Okay.
and we've started the conversation.
All right. Okay. So remember Ford. Ford? Tayuna, specifically. Do you remember Ford? FORD?
Family I think I remember the acronym
Yeah.
of
Right.
things to
Friends and family,
discuss. Friends and family.
occupation,
Okay.
recreation, and dreams. Everybody? Ford, right? You want to get to know somebody, remember Ford. Should be easy, right? Talk about their friends and family, their occupation, recreation, what they do for fun, and dreams. Right? So okay, so let's take one of the people that you met. Where did you meet them and what was the conversation about?
I met them at the gym
Okay.
and yeah, I literally garnered I was like, wow, this set is hard. And she was right next to me
Right.
and she was getting on the equipment that I was about to get on next. And she's
All
like,
right.
yeah, I do these all the time. So from there, it was just, I didn't know how to continue the
Okay,
conversation.
great. Okay, so the gym, very simple, right?
Mhm.
Ladies, woman to woman is easy, right? If I was to come up to her, it might be a little different, right? So, ladies, very easy, right? That's why we have more top salespeople that are ladies because you guys are great salespeople, right? It's easier for you guys to communicate or at least engage. So here, I would probably say, hey, so you guys are talking already. Did you get her name?
I did.
Have you seen her before?
No, that was the first
Okay.
time.
All right. So now you have her name. So
Uh-huh.
every time you see her, you engage her. Like, hey, Tayuna, right? And she's like, remember me, Greg? Right? So you get the name, right? Don't attack people the first time. Okay. Got it? You don't want to, try to attack them, right? Right?
Yeah.
It's engaged. So today it's like, hey, thanks for, later on, maybe when you're done, you just tell, hey, thanks for the tips or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Remember, pay a compliment, smile, pay a compliment. Remember? Ask smart questions.
You look good in that outfit.
Yeah.
I'm not telling a girl that, but
Well, no. It's like, hey, that's a nice, you may not say you look
I
good in
can
it,
say,
but you
oh,
must say,
I like
hey,
I like your shoes, or I like your tights. What
right?
color?
Yeah, or where do you
Okay.
get your, whatever, right?
Where did you get that workout outfit
Yeah,
from,
there you go. Okay.
or
So again,
something? Okay.
figure it out, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Right, guys? Okay.
Got it.
Find a way to compliment, right? And again, if you don't have one, it's okay. You don't have to yet. Okay. Eventually you will. Okay. All right. And then compliment is just saying something good. That's all it is. Okay. So you engaged her, right? Now, did you get her phone number? Probably not, right?
No,
Okay.
no contact. I literally
Yeah.
just her
Just the
name.
first name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just the first name. What's her name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you would ask her, hey, Jennifer, so do you work out every day, right? Okay. So talk about the gym, right? Because that's where you guys are at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
So you
Okay.
talk about that. Okay. So now, how do you now make it to the next level, right? You're not gonna say, "Hey, what's your phone number?" Right? Because they're like, "Why do you want my phone number?" Right? Okay.
Right.
What's your email address? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what do you do is, hey, so do you come to the gym often, or what's your workout routine look like? Right? So do you live in the area? Right? That to me that's a normal question. So do you live in the area? Right? No. So all these questions you need to now start remembering them. Right? So what else could she talk about? Everybody, Zoom world, help her out. What other questions could she ask?
Do you want to
Remember,
work out together? You have an accountability partner? You want a gym buddy?
yeah, right. You could do that. Okay, if
Thanks,
you want.
Melissa.
What else?
I usually go for what's your Instagram, so I want
Huh?
to connect with them. I usually add them on my Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Hey, are you on Instagram? Right,
Yeah.
right. Now, how do you set that up? Because that's where it is, right? It's before because this is where the smart question comes in, right? Now, maybe at the end, by the way, hey, are you on Instagram or are you on, Facebook? I'd like to be, like to connect. Maybe we can work out together in the future, right? Or maybe I can get some tips. Or, I mean, depending on where the conversation goes, guys, okay, will determine the questions we ask, right? And of course, the connection, right? If someone is kind of abrasive, right, or maybe not as engaging, we have to, just get their name, and next time you'll do the Instagram question, right? Today it's
So I
just
have another one, Greg.
yeah,
I went to the farmer's market.
Mhm.
There was a vendor, I ended up meeting this couple from, the gentleman worked in Texas where I used to live, exact area. So we started up the conversation. Um, these could be off, what you call it too. Like somebody, I don't know if anybody in Zoom world is interested in like helping me role play these options or these opportunities, but I didn't know how to connect with them. My hopes was that I'd see them again and I'd be able to spark up a conversation about but is that considered a lead? Like, I mean, like, is that something I can nurture? Because how am I going to
Yeah.
be able to connect with them again?
Correct. Well, the way to connect is to get people's, to me, name and phone number. To me, that's
Okay.
my goal always. Name and phone number. If I can't get phone number, then email or Instagram or somehow reconnect, right? Okay. I have to be able to reach out to you at some point. So name and phone number to me is the easiest. Okay.
Okay.
It's how I get that phone number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna say, by the way, I'd love to keep in touch with you about real estate. What's your phone number, right? No, you got to set it up some other way. Okay. So we have to find commonalities, right?
Okay.
So
That
let's
makes
talk about the
sense.
gym part, right? So the gym part, you talk about the gym, right? I'll see you again. Hey, maybe once you know their schedule, I will try to work out the same schedule, right? If I can, right? At least once a month, I'll see her, right? And then from there, I can build that relationship. All right, guys. Okay. Um, and here's the thing, right? When I ask people like, do you live in the area? That usually open things up. And here's the best thing, right? What shirt are you wearing? Are you wearing an Intero shirt that says real estate, or are you wearing just a Nike shirt? Right? You can put Intero or realtor on your Nike shirt, right? If you want to. So here's where I know some of you guys do use the Intero gear. So when they see you, they see you as a real estate agent. They'll see you more often. Now it's up to you if you want to, do that. Tell you that, right? Is if it's not that, then an Intero water bottle or a real estate water bottle or something that has a house in it, right? So you can do that. There's different things you can do. Okay. So when they see you, it's not just a person, it's hey, this person is in real estate somehow. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
When you go to farmers market, same thing. See, when we're out in the public, guys, are you looking for business or not? If you are, then look like a real estate agent.
Gotcha.
Right? Don't sound like one. Look like one first. Okay, so you remember, smile, be engaging. So do you work in the area? Okay, instead of do you live in the area, maybe you say, hey, by the way, do you work in the area? And guess what? They're gonna say, hey, by the way, what do you do? Remember, you have to engage them. So keep asking questions. So what do you do at Oracle? Oh, really? Okay. Eventually, they're gonna say, what do you do? But if you have an Intero shirt, they know Intero in the Bay Area. We're known. Okay. And if you have Intero real estate services, they know you're a real estate agent or at least somehow in real estate. Make sense? Right? An Intero hat, visor, something that has real estate on it. Okay, guys? Okay. So any questions on that? Anybody have any thoughts on how Tayuna can engage better? So now, how do you get people's phone numbers?
Are we door knocking or just
No, she met someone at the gym or at a farmer's market.
I would love to keep in contact with you.
Yeah, you can just say that, right? Hey, I'd love to keep in touch. Hey, let's keep in touch. Hey, let's work out together. Hey, so like this one on the farmer's market, right? What was the situation, Tayuna? Like, what did you guys talk about?
I was sitting at the little I was sitting first and the husband said, hey, is it okay if we sit next to you? And I was like, yeah, of course. And so it just kind of we naturally started a conversation because
Yep.
it was a very small space.
Yeah.
And then I did start the conversation and engage, like, hey, are you guys local? Are you guys here? And we began to talk. I found out he worked in the same neighborhood that I worked in, and we worked for partnering companies. I
Yeah.
just didn't know how to follow up with, like, hey, we should stay in touch. It didn't seem genuine to say, hey, we
Yeah.
should stay in touch, and I just met them for the
Okay.
first time.
Yeah, the connection wasn't fully there. Yeah, so it
Right.
would be kind of weird. Hey, let's keep in touch.
Right. And I didn't make too much content with the wife either, so that was kind of weird. So just got to be like, I don't know, I just feel like I overthink it, but I got to be careful. Like, I tried, I obviously engaged the both of them, but to prospectively use them like in the future, I kind of was like, well, maybe this one just may not be the one. I
Sure.
just didn't know how to like capture, if that's even a thing to
Okay.
capture.
So here's the thing. You learn from every experience, everybody. Maybe this time it wasn't meant to be. Can we agree? Right? Next time, same thing. Something may come out of it. Don't beat yourself up by saying, oh man, I missed out on something. Guys, we're going to meet a lot of people. The goal is to have more, right? Okay. So in this case, Tayuna, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe you'll see them again, maybe not. But let's
Yeah,
just
that's
learn
what I
from this,
thought.
right? So how
Okay.
can she have captured that phone number or the keep in touch, make it easier, right? Find commonalities on the forward. Like in this case, they used to work in the same area, right? Maybe you could build on that. Are you still working there? Things like that, right? But how do you get a person's phone number, right? And this is where, what kind of fair trade can you have to give them, right? So you're going into a farmer's market. What can you bring with you to a farmer's market?
Tail bag.
Okay, the Intero real estate bag. You guys have seen those? If not, talk to your MIT. You might have some more, right? A real estate bag, right? Or something that has pictures of houses in it, maybe, right? Okay, so you got that. Okay, so if some of you guys are thinking about investing into your marketing into a real estate bag, what else? I don't have that. What else? Have you guys ever thought? You guys don't. You guys know about those canvas bags, right? Have you guys seen them? Who's never seen those
Like a
canvas
little
bags?
backpack.
Not
Which
necessarily the
bag?
backpack. The one. The one that you go to Safeway, right? They have those canvas bags, right?
Oh,
That you.
yeah, a canvas bag. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Like
There you
this?
go. See, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So you see Melissa, right? She has those. Turn that around, Melissa. There. I said, what's the company? Melissa Saunders Realty. Okay. Right. So
Okay.
it doesn't say Intero at all. It says Melissa
I know
Services,
that
right?
was
Even better, right? Now, maybe on the other side or something, because sometimes it's the same price if it's two-sided or not, right? Again, it depends. Sometimes you can have as much on one side, right? Yeah. So it says real estate on realty on it, right? My suggestion is put your phone number also. Okay, Melissa. So the next batch, you better have your phone number on there, right? Either on the same page or on the back, right? I don't think it's there, right, Melissa? It just says Melissa,
no.
right? Saunders Realty, right? So put your phone number, right? To me, that could be a good segue to get their number. You could be giving this away.
Oh, here. I have another one.
Oh, she got a red one too, right?
This
On
isn't
this one,
mine
she has
though.
her website, right? Yeah.
No, this is somebody else's.
Oh, someone else. So this one has a website. To me, a phone number is the best.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a website, they have to log in. The phone number to me is the best. Okay. Have your name and phone number. To me, that's the key. Right? Now, you can give those away, right? What else? Have you guys ever
Business
brought
card.
a business card even? Okay. Business card, right? Have you guys, they have drawings sometimes on those farmers market, right? Keep dropping those business cards. Remember, one of our things is to order 10,000 business cards at one time. I'm going to challenge some of you guys to do that. Some of you guys are going to order either 5,000 or 10,000 business cards. Okay. And it's not that expensive.
No.
Right? 10,000 business cards. How fast can you give away 10,000 business cards?
Within 6 months.
Yeah. At least within a year. 6 months is the best thing. Within 3 to 6 months is to give away 10,000 business cards. How much business do you think you guys can get? Melissa, if you give away 10,000 business cards in 6 months, how many deals do you think you can get? Right? Think about that. I mean, at least one, I would think, right? If I just kept dropping business cards in different places, Tayuna, right? Give 2 or 3 per person, 10,000 business cards. How much business do you guys think you guys can get? What do you think?
At least, or more or less 5.
At least 5. Okay, right? 10,000 cards.
Mhm.
Deborah, what do you think, right? Twinkle, 10,000 business cards. If I was able to give that away in 6 months, okay, how much business can I get?
Easily 5
I
to
put
10.
them in my newsletter sometime.
In your newsletter sometimes, right? Okay. When you go to your different places, how many of you guys go to Safeway?
Me?
Have you guys ever brought like a bunch and start putting inside those magazines? You're looking through a magazine, put a couple.
Oh,
Have you guys looked at that? Have you guys done that?
that's not the box, right?
I've never had Safeway call me, Greg, stop doing that. I've done that a couple times.
Really?
I don't do it every time. Okay. I do
So
it
you
all the
just
time
slide
at
them
my
inside the
dentist and
car?
doctor's office. Huh?
What
So
about
you
Barnes
just
and Nobles?
Whatever.
wait, so you
Me.
just slide your business card inside the magazine?
Yeah. I've never
Okay.
had anyone call me back yet that says, hey, stop doing that. Or I did get once someone that says, hey, I saw your business card at Safeway. Okay. But no one has ever I haven't gotten deals because of that. But who knows, right? All my thing is, if you have 10,000 business cards, what can you do to give it away? So here's the thing. If I had 6 months, how many cards do I need to give away per month? There's 10,000.
If you have
Let's even calculate to 5, okay? 5 months, okay? So that means 2,000 per month.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we math? 10,000 divided by 5 months is 2,000 per month, right? There's 4 weeks in every month, minimum, right?
That's 250.
So 2,000 divided by 4 is 500 per week, right? Per week. I'll do this 4 days a week. So actually 5, right? So 5 days a week, 500, right? That's 100 per day. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I'm door knocking, so I can give away 25 maybe. But can you imagine 100 per day is all I gotta do. I go to Starbucks 1 or 2, right? Right?
That's a full day's work.
Right? How many of you guys have gone to Starbucks and stapled a $5 bill on your card? So they know.
What? I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Right? So they know where it came from, right? Don't put a dollar bill on it. We'll put multiple, right? So they know where the tip came from, right? When you go to a restaurant, how many of you guys leave your business cards on it?
Yeah.
Right? As long as you got good service, right? You're engaged. See, when you engage people, right? We can give away 100 cards per day. It's very easy. It's because it's top of mind for us to give away. Right? Now, how much is 10,000 business cards? How many of you guys have actually done, figured out how much it is to order 10,000 business cards? So your homework, okay? Where are you going to order 10,000 business cards and how much does it cost? So by next week. Okay? Yeah, wherever you guys order your business cards from, right? Tell me how much is 10,000 business cards. Okay? Because remember, we only spend something if it's going to give us tenfold on our money. Okay? So I want to know how many is 10,000 business cards cost. Right? Okay? All right. So those are good thoughts, Tayuna, right? So how many of you guys have brought your newsletter on the farmer's market? Not necessarily put it in the bag to give away, but just have marketing materials with you besides business card. You never thought about it?
Why
not?
Bring it with me.
So this is where I want you guys to think outside the box. Where can I bring my marketing materials to where just in case I can give it away? Right? So if Tayuna brought a couple of those newsletters, her card at the farmer's market, could she say, so by the way, do you work here in the area, right? Okay. They don't say, they didn't ask her, what do you do? Maybe at the end she said, by the way, I'm a local realtor here. Here's one of my newsletters. Reach out if you have any questions about the real estate market. Hey, by the way, have you heard about the homestead law in California? Hey, by the way, do you guys own your own house? Are you taking your $7,000 homeowner exemption to lower your property tax bill? See, to me, those are two great things to do, right? Know the homestead law in California, know the homeowner exemption. When you say, are you taking the $7,000 homeowner exemption to lower your property tax bill? Boom, right? Okay. Do you guys, by the way, do you guys own or rent? Eventually, see, if I ask that, do you guys own or rent? Hey, by the way, I'm a local realtor in the area. Do you guys own or rent? Or do you currently rent here in Tracy? Remember, if they're engaging me, I'll engage back, right? But until I engage, they're not going to engage me, right? You start the conversation. They sat on my table. Okay. They asked to be seated there, right? I didn't invite them, okay? They came to me. So now I get to engage them. Again, no pressure, right? I'm not asking for their kidney. I'm just talking to them, right? Hey, so do you guys come here a lot, right? Come on, you guys need to start these conversations, guys, right? Okay. If the farmers market is not your scene, you're gonna find another scene. Where do you go? Some of you guys have kids that play baseball, soccer, whatever, right? Look like a realtor, engage them, right? Not necessarily to tell them, hey, I'm a local realtor, call me. No, it's, hey, have you heard about this? What's going on? If you belong to a PTA, you should know who are the homeowners. Add them to your database. If you're married, you should get your spouse's database and add them. The newsletter. See, to me, the newsletter is the easiest non-pressured type of marketing. And it talks about the real estate stuff. Okay. So if you have not seen the newsletters yet at TPMCO, right, you guys need to jump on that. In 3 weeks, you need to be on the system. Okay. Otherwise, you're not progressing. Okay. And some of you guys will be here next year, still brand new. You need to get on the system now. Okay. So are you guys okay? So what else are the challenge about getting people's contact info or engaging people when you're prospecting? Any other situations? Because door knocking, right? You guys are doing just listed, just sold, invite them to an open house, right? Easy, correct? Right? So we're able to do that. So where else are we missing? Okay. So that's a great question to answer about, how do we take it to the next step? You got to get people's phone number, right? Because now you can market to them. You can just say, hey, have a great Father's Day weekend. Because one of the questions I would ask is, do you guys have family in the area? Right? Do you guys live in Tracy? Do you guys live in Livermore? Right? Small talk smartly. Talk about them before you start talking about you. Okay, does it make sense?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Small talk smartly. Remember the Ford concept, right? And then what is your value system? What is what can you give them that they can see value? Have you heard about this? Did you know about this? Right? Hey, you guys thinking about painting your house? Do you guys go buy paint at Home Depot? Would you like to save 20% from the paint? You guys know about this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I gave you guys a phone number before, right? How to save 20%, right? And if you're a veteran, you save an additional 10% on other things by setting up an account, by giving what we call a pro rewards number. So is there any veterans in this call? Anybody who's a veteran? Do you know of a veteran? Your Home Depot will give you 10% automatically discount.
Lowe's.
There's Lowe's that does the same thing. Okay? Right? All you got to do is set up on a free rewards account and just tell them you're a veteran and you get 10% every time. Up to a limit, okay? So if you know of a veteran, ask them, right? Okay? That would be something. So start figuring out how you can serve people. The 20%, I just give them my painter's number. And because my painter buys a lot of paint, they get 20% every time. And I just extend that. I just have put this phone number whenever you're paying for the paint. and you get 20% off, right? So there are things like that you can extend to people, right? Or you just say, hey, I'd love to keep in touch. If there's anything I can do in the future. My wife is very good at that, getting people, engaging, getting people's phone number. Some not like, babe, we gotta go. She's still talking to people, right? Again, ladies, you guys are better at this than us. Okay. Now just use it. Okay. So what else? What else are the prospecting challenges? Anybody calling expires for sale by owners?
I'm in the door knocking. Oh, so
Or Amos?
I have
So,
a scenario.
yeah.
Well, the thing that I would say is holding people back. It's kind of what I've been saying. It's just a little different. The fear of what if they will be receptive to what you have to say, or if they'll shut you down.
Okay. Like what? I mean, what's happening? So remember, if people shut us down, that means they have no need for us, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we move on.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
Next, so what? Get over it, right? We only engage with people that want to engage with us.
Mhm.
So we do our job.
Mhm.
So what is the challenge there? So there's this like it's called a hang up. So Blaze has this hang up, like people are just not engaging sometimes. Let it go. Right? Let it go. Right? That's all we gotta learn. Is just let it go.
Yeah.
So now where are we possibly missing things? Deborah? Anything? Thanks for turning on your camera. Anything? How can we help you? Anybody?
So I go to the networking events where there are all business people there. So we
Okay.
do exchange cards. So do
Great.
I have to put them also on my CRM when I
Yep.
exchange cards?
Yes. Yeah. Because I have their business information.
Uh-huh.
I want to get their personal information. So I will say, hey, pretty, so what do you do? Oh, you're in real estate. I'll say, perfect. You're in real estate. Excellent. So, so what company do you work for? So you get the information, right? You exchange business card. Let's grab coffee. And sometimes here's the thing, we can exchange database. Hey, by the way, pretty, do you have any clients that, maybe I might be able to service? They say no, right? They don't want to share the information yet. That's okay. I don't need it the first time. Next quarter, after a couple of other meetings, there might be some comfort level. Remember, likability. Yeah. So what kind of businesses have you met? Give me two of them.
So there are non-profit that even the Comcast comes there. Costco guy. I go to the chamber.
Okay. So it's chamber, right?
Yeah.
You guys should belong to the Chamber of Commerce in your city, if not multiple ones, right? Okay. Attend those meetings. These are business owners. Most of them are homeowners, right? So now how do you get their address is the key. They know you're in real estate. This person is that works at Costco, right? So what do I talk about? Costco. I need to talk about them, not me, right? So I'm gonna say, oh, so you work at Costco. Do you know if Costco has any down payment assistance programs to help employees buy their first home? I may or may not know that information. I ask anyways and see what they know, right? Because what's my trigger? If they say, well, I don't really know. Well, let me do this. You may want to check into it. But by the way, we have some programs that are zero down programs that we help first time buyers, buy their first home. I'd love to share that information with you. Why don't we grab coffee? Or hey, by the way, what's your number? When you usually ask for people's number, they'll give you their cell. They're not going to give you a Costco number. Got it? So you see value, but the way you get the value is you set them up. See what kind of need they have. Okay. So the next one is you said Infinity, right? Comcast. I said, so what's new with Comcast? Do you know if fiber or fast internet is available in our area yet? Right? Do you guys have some special going on, right? Talk about them and then what they have that can benefit me and my clients. But it's about them. So you guys understand, so Chamber of Commerce, right? Restaurants, right? So I said, oh, do you guys do any special programs? Do you guys have any happy hour, right? So this is what I did in Union City before. I would get, some of them will say, okay, do you think you can give my clients 20% discount, right? Okay. So I tell them, if they present my card, is it okay if you give them a 20% discount from their bill? And when they did, so I created a business card, save 20% at the following, restaurants. So in the back of my card, we printed, save 20% at this card, I don't put like 10 of them. I do like businesses of the month, like 2 or 3.
Then have you seen that business owners are okay giving that 20%?
Yeah, if they don't, I find someone else. Oh, we don't do that. Okay, fine. Then I go somewhere else because I'm going to recommend this to my clients. So make sure you frequent the restaurant and that you like the food. Okay. All right. Don't, let's say they say, oh, we don't know, I can only do 10%. Then 10%. I always ask for more. 20% is usually the standard. I don't go for 50%. Right? Okay. Right. But usually it's 20% is like the standard. Right. And something special, something that no one else, they can't find somewhere else. Right.
It's for a limited time, like you said, you do.
Oh, yeah. This month only. It's not all Yeah. Yeah. It's business of the month. Right. And I tell my clients, hey, by the way, we're doing, especially nowadays, right? When you guys are lucky with the internet, right? You can do text, right? So again, it's a place that you frequent, right? That you have this relationship with the owner. Because how many of you guys do know the owners of the businesses? Some of you guys will do, right? Castro Valley, there's a lot of mom and pop shops, right? Get to know who the owners are. Maybe you don't ask that the first time. Right? Try out the food, get to know the staff, see who they are. And most people are homeowners. Hey, do you guys live in the area? Right? Yeah. Okay, got it? Worst case, you get better service. Okay. Best case, that's the worst, right? You get good service. That's the worst case, right? Best case, yeah, you can extend this, Now, what if your clients don't like the food?
They won't go to your next business of the month.
No. If I recommend, hey, Twinkle, you gotta try this restaurant. They got the best, whatever, right? And my client comes, Greg, that's the worst food I ever had. Really? Wow. Tell me more about that. Okay. Right. I know they went, right? I said, okay, well, tell me, is there a better restaurant? Right? Guess what? I got more information now. Now, am I going to say, okay, let me buy the next one for you? Maybe. I mean, if that's the relationship, hey, will I pass on that information to the restaurant owner? Maybe, depending on what you want to do. Bottom line is engagement. I told them to go. They saved 20%. They didn't like it or liked it. Get feedback. Make sense?
Yeah.
All I'm looking for is engagement with people. Right? And if they didn't like it, where do they like to go? That's better. Guess what? Now I have another contact. Right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I'm doing. So if they say, for instance, if you guys are door knocking, right? You see someone did some good improvements, like nice driveway, nice landscaping. Guess what I talk about when I'm door knocking? How many I'm a local realtor? I couldn't help but notice that you have a new driveway. Did you or the previous owner do the driveway? Who's your contractor?
Mm-hmm.
More contact. I now have a new driveway person. Now I have a new painter, a new handyman, a new landscaper. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Remember, I'm not soliciting. Right? Now, if they say, get out of here. Okay, get out of here, right? No big deal. But most of the time, I'm there to smile, pay compliment, ask smart questions.
Yeah.
Got it? So you guys should have a lot of contractors, a lot of painters in your database.
What's real funny, Craig, is that whenever I would go to door knock a home that has very nice features, they never answer.
Okay.
I just gotta keep on going.
They never answer.
Mm-hmm.
So what should you do? You move on. Have you guys written a note? Hey, sorry to have missed you. I was in the neighborhood and I noticed your nice driveway. I was wondering if you could share your contractor information. Please text the info to me at this number. Once in a while, I'll get a text. Some of them just call, even better. But I ask them for a text. Why do I ask for a text? So you have their phone number. I get their phone number, and it's non-threatening usually. Right? But some of them will call me, and I say, hey, thanks for calling. right?
Yeah.
I'm a connector. Got it? So in your farm, remember those 1,000 homeowners, 1,500 homes? You should have everybody's landscaper, everybody's gardener, because this is what I've been able to do. I've been able to work out a good deal with a gardener. One time there was like there were 5 houses in a row. I got him a good deal. I said, don't spend, if I can get you 5 houses in a row, can you give them a deal? Yeah, they save like $10 each every month. I'm not trying to, like get the best bargain for everybody. That's not my deal. I want to get a good deal, better than they could have gone without me. Right? So I negotiate this deal, $10 less a month. They were already paying a certain amount, right? All I did was connected the whole 5 houses or 6 houses. So the gardener was able to go there one day a month or twice a month and knock them all off. Because he only had one client, now he's got 5 or 6. Does that make sense? You guys can do that. That's how I got my gardener. I asked my neighbor's gardener, right? And I got 3 of us together. Sometimes, they skip houses or whatever, but at least it's in the same neighborhood. Does that make sense? They can try it out for 1 month, and if you like it, they'll get a discount with us. All right? And you can do that with anything, guys. Okay? Right? So, question, what else? What else are the challenges out there? Are people saying stuff to you that, you're getting stuck with? I need to know. Because one situation will help you in other situations.
So I door drop my newsletter in my farm.
Okay.
I got one of my newsletter mailed back to me saying that I door dropped, even though there was a no soliciting sign clearly. So I asked Anasha also in the meeting that should I stop doing the door drop where the no soliciting sign is?
If it's a house, I still do it. If it's in like a condo complex, I typically stop.
These are houses, so
yeah, houses, I do it all the time until they call me and stop. Okay, the HOA ones, that's where I would, be careful. I would not door drop there first. I would door knock personally. Okay, right. So here's the thing, right? The no soliciting, right? No trespassing, right? Just be careful. But for me, I still go, and you guys will see that. I still go. I ask for forgiveness rather than permission. I believe in that. Okay, and here's the thing: I'm bringing value to them. I really am. I'm not just looking for the next listing or buyer. Sure, that's what eventually what it is, but I'm there to bring value to them. So that's why, to me, bringing something of value with you, your fair trade, to me, like your discount. How you got, top 3 discounts of the month. Save 20% on paint at Home Depot. That should be number 1 for you guys. Okay, that should always be now on your flyer. Okay, and if you need my painter's phone number, let me know. Save 20% at Home Depot paint. Right? It's summer, right? Everybody's gonna be painting. Save 20% on all paint at Home Depot. Ask me how. Okay, put that on your flyer every month for the next 3 months and tell me how many calls you get. Okay, keep track. So you do what works, right? So what are your discounts? Okay, here on some of the other restaurants that didn't want to give a discount, right? So I told them, okay, I'll work this out for you. Okay, every time my client comes, they'll present my card, call me, and I'll pay half their bill without my clients knowing. If anyone presents my card, call me, and of course, I have to verify who they are first, because I'll call my client. Hey, Twinkle, I just heard you're at the Shake Shack today, right? Hey, just want to let you know, I've taken care. Sometimes I've taken care of the bill. Yeah. Tell me, I hope you have fun, right? Enjoy it. Tell me what you like best after. I don't tell them I'm paying for the bill when I just want to confirm they're there. So that way the restaurant owner doesn't just, hey, another one of your clients, you got to pay half now, right? Yeah. At the end, they'll know that, hey, Greg took care of the bill or he paid half, Yeah, that's at the end. It's a surprise for them. Okay. So you can do that. So you don't necessarily need to have the restaurant owner take the, give you the discount, but hey, just let me know when my clients come in. This is it. I only did this for like Union City restaurants because I was part of the chamber back then and I was active. So, okay. So you guys can do little things like that. So pretty, for the chamber, connect with those people. Say what kind of things can you guys offer my clients? Okay, and then extend that. Right. So if Comcast Xfinity is doing something special, put that on your flyer. Save 50% on Xfinity, right? Things like that, right? So, okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Prospecting. Because if you're not calling yet, then we need to figure out why not. What's gonna take for you to make more conversations? Because if you're not making conversation, guys, we're not gonna be able to do lead follow-up or going on appointments. Like Blaze, how did you find this investor that we're gonna see on Wednesday? How did you meet them?
So door knocking, my closed listing in Fremont, and he was out there, and then
What do you mean he lives in the neighborhood where you sold the house?
Yeah, he rents. He rents there, and then he told me his investment with his brother that they made, and then we were just going back and forth, and then he said
Okay.
that that him and his brother were planning on selling it.
Okay, so Blaze was door knocking, just sold that he did right in the area. Met a renter who's thinking of selling their rental, so they're not even a homeowner. He has a rental property because there are people like that, right? Remember I told you guys before, if it was a choice between buying a primary or buying a rental, I would buy a rental first.
Yeah,
because the benefits is a lot greater. Okay, but people buy primary because they want to have some stability.
that's right.
But if you're looking for a strict investment, buying a rental is better than buying a primary. Typically, of course, you have to solve your living situation. Okay, right? So I'm assuming that it's probably cheaper for him to rent than to own.
Yeah,
Or he doesn't need a whole house; he just needs a room or something, right? So there are people out there who have rentals that don't own. Okay, guys, I have several of those clients. Okay, so great job. Right? So Blaze was door knocking, it just sold, and found a potential listing.
yes,
Right? Again, we'll see what happens. But if you just do something, something can come up. Okay. So anybody else here door knocking and seen some success? Anyone? No success yet. Okay. So if you don't have success yet, are you okay? Success is able to connect and get people's contact info. Are you able to do that? Like if you're farming an area where you live or work, are you able to connect with people? Maybe not necessarily the first time. Like, I'm just going to pretty, she's door dropping. Eventually, you're going to need to door knock them. And then from there, are they opening the doors? And if they're not, that's okay. But the people that open the doors, are you able to engage and get their contact info, right? Their cell number or email. And again, it's just how you set that up. And that's where I want you guys I want to help you. How can you engage people? And that's where the fair trade item comes in. Did you know? Have you heard? Can I offer you this? Right? That's what we're basically having, right? So I want you guys to come up with scenarios like Tayuna did and Pretty. So any situation that you guys need help with, we talked about Larry's, he was on Facebook trying to buy something before and he got a listing appointment out of it. Okay. Now there was some work there, Larry, right? Say yes to that. It was not a true story, right? Okay. All right. You guys heard the story about that, right? Yeah. Yes, I didn't make that up. Okay, you guys can call Larry directly. Okay, right? He was trying to buy something on Facebook and he got a listing appointment out of it. Okay.
Wow.
You guys, yeah. Some of you guys haven't heard that story yet. Yeah, talk to Larry about it, right?
Man.
So again, basically it's engagement, right? We meet people all the time. Can you connect? Can you talk smartly by asking smart questions? And just remember the Ford concept. Remember your fair trade.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'd love to do this for you. Have you heard about this? Worst case is, hey, I'd love to connect. I'd love to keep in touch. If you make the connection, right, they'll be able to be able to contact people, get people's contact. And if not, that's okay. Next time, maybe, right? Next time Tayuna goes to the gym. Hey, Jennifer, right? Yeah, whatever. Just say hello. Do you know the people that's working up front? Right? Do you guys know? Right? Do you engage with our MITs? Right? Who told me that Kim was getting married? Was it Twinkle or was it Blaze? She asked me.
Engaged. Yeah.
Right? Engaged, right? Yeah, someone is you, right? Yeah, he said, who told you? I think it was Blaze or Twinkle. I don't remember exactly, right? Right? Yes, yeah. So I congratulate her when I went up, right? It's when you give people recognition, right? It helps the conversations, right? So remember recognition, hey, great, or a compliment. That's one way to build or engage people. So remember that. Okay. So what else from a prospecting or objection handling I can help you guys with today? So if you say no, that means you're talking to enough people. You have a system to keep in touch. You know what to say next. That you just got to do it more often. Is that right?
I'm in the setup process right now. So adding people to the TPMCO, like
Okay.
adding my sellers from my farm because they gave me their email addresses and I know their address.
Mhm.
Adding them to the market, a home evaluation.
Yes.
Like their month or quarterly.
Okay. So when does that happen in your day? So like Twinkle, she's in the setup process of adding people to her database, right? To the newsletter system. You guys just keep adding. Like I said, add 5 to 10 new people every day, right? Like in her farm, right? There's people she's met already. That's not on the newsletter system, right? I'm assuming you're not mailing every month, right? Okay. So now the people you've met, right? I don't believe in mailing 1,000 newsletter every month, unless you have the budget. But to me, I will only mail to people I've met or plan to meet, right? Or that know me, right? Right? Okay. So like her, she's now adding the people she's met. See, to me, my neighbors, my top 5 neighbors around me, 1, and 3 across. Okay. So it's like a circle, right? They're in the newsletter system. One of the neighbors across just listed with somebody because she works for a real estate agent. Okay. That's how she got the listing. So that's good for that guy, right? Okay. But the others haven't sold yet. The one to the left, my wife sold, a couple years back. She was a listing agent. But it's these 5 better be on your system, left and right, and 3 across minimum. Okay, for us, it's expanded. Oh, even the backyard neighbors are now in our newsletter. Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
You're gonna go home every day, right? You're gonna say hello. So be cordial. If you don't like them, then don't put them. But it's your neighbor. You may want to put them just to be cordial, right? Yeah. One deal pays for like decades of marketing. Okay.
Mhm.
Think about that. If I do 1,000 newsletters every month, right? That's $1 a piece. Worst case, right? It's like 90 something cents, right? I want you guys to figure out how much is your budget for that newsletter. What's the budget, right? If you're mailing 1,000 a month and you're not getting a deal a month, then you're not doing something right. We need to figure out what. If you have 1,000 names, 1,000 newsletters going out, and you're not getting a listing a month, something is missed. You've met these people at a BNI, like a business networking event. Even if you're mailing to their work right now, start there. Okay, start there. Okay. Eventually, you need their home address because in case they leave that, they leave Comcast, right? So you should be able to. These people you met, they know you. You plan to meet them, because there might be some people in that BNI in that Chamber of Commerce you haven't met yet, but most likely you have. Send them your newsletter. Okay, start there. I guarantee you have 1,000 mailer every month of people you met that know you. If you're not getting a listing a month, we really need to look at your, what you're doing, because if you're spending $1,000 a month on my system and you're not getting a listing a month, you're missing out on something. A deal a month, guys, it's getting to that 1,000. That's the key. Okay, and I'm not telling you mail 1,000 next month unless you have 1,000 names, people you met, right? That's rare. Very few people know 1,000 people, have met 1,000 people in like 1 month. it usually takes about 3 to 6 months to get to 1,000. Okay? So you have to build your budget, right? You need to learn how to get your spouse's.
So Greg, I have a question. We can't hear you.
You're on mute, Greg. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Think we lost him.
I think
Can
we
you-
should text him.
We can't hear him. I'll text him.
Oops. I think he went mute.
He probably won't listen to his phone. I'll text Blake.
Okay, so I will start the. I'm just kidding.
We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. He's mute. Because it's showing he's mute.
I don't see his office. Maybe his other one died.
Okay, how about now? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I don't know where I lost.
We missed that
What was
part.
I saying?
So where were we?
Houses, workers, information. You can get that. You can also find their kids, if they have
Okay.
kids.
Oh, we were talking about the mailing.
Okay.
So I had a question about that.
You were saying the newsletters, like the one that we're
Yeah.
talking about, like Money Talk, whatever. Those are the newsletters talk about, right? Talking about
No.
that.
TPMCO.
Do you to those folks that you help purchase a home already?
Yes.
So everyone
Everyone gets a newsletter. The people I close with, I sign them up on the client follow-up program, which is the 5-year program, which is a quarterly mailer.
yes.
That's different from the monthly newsletter.
On top of that, for the month.
On top of them, all my past clients get both, right? Okay. The newsletter is for everybody else. But okay, clear? You guys heard me, right? So there's
Yeah,
two
okay.
systems that I use with TPMCO: the 5-year client follow-up program and the monthly newsletter system. Okay? All my closings get both. Okay. And what happens when it gets to the 5 year is coming up, around 6 months before, which is 2 mailings before, I will get an email that says, "Hey, do you want to renew these people?" I don't renew them on the 5 year.
Wait, I
Okay?
have a question for
Everybody on
you.
the 5 year, but most of the time, some of my clients are serial clients, and I renew those people. Does it make
So
sense?
you said you give it to all of your clients, all of your sales,
Hold on.
listings and sold? I mean, and buyers and sellers?
Yes. As far as repeat that again.
For the TPMCO 5-year plan, is it buyers and sellers?
Every closing I've ever had,
Every closing?
I put my buyer, and my seller usually will do something else, right? Okay, so I add them again. I have a lot of clients say I'll do the 5 year because it's like 40 something dollars, right? If it's my buyer, they definitely get it. My seller will get it again, right? I usually the current, if it's my listing, I set up my seller and the new buyer who's not my client. I adopt that client. Most of the time, the agent who sells them the house
does not keep touch or have left business after a couple years. Most of my listings have become my other listings. Okay. So if let's say Melissa is a first-time buyer, her agent, Deborah, right? I'm the listing agent. I believe Deborah will not stay in the business long enough to get that listing, Melissa's listing, but I will. Half the time, that's more than half. I get it because I'm the one keeping in touch with Melissa.
Melissa closing on Melissa closing on the house when you start reaching out.
Within the first 30 days. Remember, Deborah, I'm expecting, she's not going to keep in touch. So I'm going to say, hey, Melissa, I would find a reason in the next 30 days to go see her in the house, right? Now, she receives the 5-year program already. So the first thing is one of the things she's going to receive is a, what do you call that? Return address labels. Check that out, the client follow-up, how that program works, okay? I'm going to check in with her, how's the move going, right? By the way, have you seen any mail for my client? Right? Right? Melissa's going to get mail from my client, the previous seller. That's one of the reasons I come there. Hey, by the way, I'm going to be passing by probably once a week or so. Could you, if you see any mail from the previous seller, could you put it aside for me? Now I have a reason to, go to the house, right? Now, how do I get Melissa's phone number? Deborah's not going to give it to me.
She won't.
Right? So that's why I asked Melissa, hey, by the way, just so I don't miss you, is it okay if I check in with you before I come over? Hey, by the way, are you guys thinking about painting? Can I send you some information on how to get 20% on the paint at Home Depot? Hey, by the way, just to make sure, in about 45 days when you get your property tax bill, I want to make sure that you're getting the $7,000 home exemption on the house. It's okay if I give you a quick reminder. What's your phone number? Wait, in case you need this, I'd love to reach out to you. Boom. See, I'm going to give Melissa such good service. If Deborah's doing the same thing, great. But I believe she's not. Hey, by the way, Melissa, do you have a list of all the vendors or all the utilities in Tracy? You know, right? We have like all the utilities for each city, right? Or for most of the cities. Melissa, you know that, right? We have one for Tracy, right? Do you have that, Melissa? Yes, no?
Yes.
Richie does? Because
Yeah.
Melissa
Wait, what you asked me, Greg? Do I have TPMCO?
the list of utilities for
Oh,
Tracy.
yeah.
Right?
For
We
Tracy?
have that for Hayward. We have that for Fremont, Pleasanton. The list of utilities, or most common numbers for the city.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do. I give that to my client.
Talk to your MIT and give this to the buyers, or you can door knock it with it even, right? We have a lot of stuff. So look at if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know so we can let them know where to get it. Because we have those things. I think we have it for all the surrounding cities where our office is. So they probably will have one for Mountain House too, right? So talk to Anthony about it, right? For you guys and Tracy. Talk to your MIT about the most common numbers for utilities, okay? For the cities that you serve. It's there. If I had to create it, and now the staff made it a lot nicer. Because when I was say, hey, where do I get that? Okay? You have to research it. Now it's like there's a bunch of information there. Okay, so look at that. Okay, the utilities phone number. What else? Do you guys have stuff to give away now? So when you're talking with people, it's like, hey, have you heard about this? Hey, let me do this for you, right? Okay? Let me do this for you. Put that in your dialogue. Okay, hey, let me do this for you. Have you heard about this? Hey, can I share? No one's gonna That makes sense? And this can be anywhere. You're at a party. You're at networking event. You're a Safeway, right? You know, Safeway sometimes have corn for 10 cents a piece. You guys seen that? 10 cents for corn, right? Like whole corn. Like they have like a special one.
Right.
Guess who I text that to?
Everybody?
It's many people. I start with people I know. Hey, sis. Hey, corn sale at Safeway, 10 cents a piece, right? Or hey, shrimp, $5 a pound. Hey, crab season, it's $10 at the pier. And sometimes they say, oh no, that's cheaper here. Guess what? Now I got more information. Does that make sense? Guys, okay? I just need engagement. It does not have to be real estate. Right? You guys have special stuff that I don't know about. You know, like hamburger days, remember? So okay. Anybody else Shake Shack? Okay, this only lasts until tomorrow. Okay. They have a buy one, get one hamburger at Shake Shack right now, but you need to have the app. How do I find out? I have a client that keeps sending it to me. Hey, guys, because I sent the information about the hamburger day thing, right? The date, hamburger day. But yeah, Shake Shack till the 17th. Buy one, get one. Okay. Look it up. So if you know Shake Shack or if there's one close to you, check it out. Okay. Things like that. Okay. That you can share with people. Now, I don't like blast it, right? Maybe if I'm in social media, I'll put it up there, right? But it's certain people that I know like burgers. Like I don't send that to my wife because she'll tell me, "Why are you going there?" Right? So I don't tell her that I go to Shake Shack once a month. Okay. Right. So again, it's figure out you can share with people, guys. Share with me what you're doing. Maybe I'll share back. Right. So, but think about it. If you have if there's Shake Shack in Tracy, is there one? I don't know if there is, but I know there's one in Walnut Creek. There's one in San Mateo. But yeah, if you guys see things like that, you can share with people. Like in Chipotle, right? Sometimes they have free guac once a month.
I think 7-Eleven gives away free Slurpees on July 11th.
July 11th, put it on your calendar, right? So that month, free Slurpee.
I thought it was 4th of July, Melissa. It is July.
Okay.
I think
These things
it's
is
7-Eleven.
Look it up. Go to 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah, of course.
See? Melissa said, no, it's 7-Eleven. July 11th. Not 7-4, 7-Eleven. All right. Hey, that's a good one, right? Oh, thank you, Melissa, for sharing. So now I have something for July, right? Besides the 4th of July thing, right? Think about that. You share information. Now we just have to remember that. Right? So put it on a wall somewhere. Hey, July, remember 7-Eleven, free Slurpees. Even if they don't like it, it's engagement. If I send this to some people say, why are you doing Slurpees, right? Because it's not healthy, right? Fructose sugar, right? Whatever, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Right? Engagement. That's all we're looking for. Right? Okay. So I'll ask them, what's a healthier option, right? Right? Maybe you take a picture with a Slurpee, right? I mean, what is it, right? Right, Melissa? Right? Whatever. What's your favorite Slurpee flavor? Taking a survey. What's your favorite Slurpee, right? Go to 7-Eleven today. Free Slurpee, right? Create a marketing piece. I'm going to create one, okay? A text I'm going to send to people. And I'll send it to you guys. I'll share it in July. It's that, right? But I have to go to 7-Eleven right now. It's right across the street from Union City. Okay, we're going to do research. All right. What else? See, think about what you guys can do. Right. So get on that newsletter, get your CRM done, focus on that 32 touch point system, right? Get that business plan. Next 12 months. Right? If you do, then you got to jump on this system, guys. It's about talking to people, talking to more people, and keeping in touch and keeping that engagement going. Okay. So if you need help engaging people, let us know and we can help each other. Okay. Yeah. National Today. Right? Check that out. Thank you, Melissa. Right. You guys see that, right? So yeah, that National Today thing, right? There's always something. Okay. Yeah. So check out that website. Okay. Because I will. All right. What else? Anybody else have any thoughts, questions that I can help about anything. Okay.
I have a question regarding
Yes.
sorry.
Preeti first, then Divya.
Okay, I have a question regarding the newsletter. So right now for my SOI, I am sending the newsletter through email. Do I still have to send through mail?
Okay. If you're doing the TPMCO one, right?
No.
I suggest monthly mailer minimum if you have the budget, right? The second, if you're doing email newsletter, which newsletter are you emailing?
I create my own.
Okay, you create your own. I would probably supplement that. Now, it depends on the information you're sending. Okay. So I don't know what's in your personal newsletter. Why don't you send me and I'll comment on it.
Okay.
Send me your most recent one. I believe the monthly printed newsletter via mail is the best. Okay. Because no one else does it. Does that make sense? You do what most people are not doing. Okay. An email newsletter, is good to supplement. But to me, I need you guys to get into a monthly mailing system. Okay. Right. If you don't have that budget yet, right, which you should have, if you're going to do this full time, right, I suggest start with 100 to 200 people already. People that mail it out. Okay. I need, if you don't do that yet, I think you're going to be behind the system. Okay. Pretty. And this goes for everybody. Okay. It's about $1 a piece. So check it out. See what the budget you need for that. Go to TPMCO, set up your free account. It has how many people you have. The more people you do, the less it costs. Okay. And just tell them you're with Intero. I'll give you our special price. Okay. Intero. Okay. Intero Union C specifically, but it's all through Intero. Just tell them you're with Intero. Question.
It's 98 cents for 100.
Yeah. See, postage just went up, I think 2 weeks ago. Did you guys know that? Postage went up again. Okay. Right. Yeah. Keeps going up. Postage, right? That's why it went up. It was 91 cents earlier in the year.
It's a higher write-off.
Okay. Carolyn or Divya. Divya first.
Greg, I have a question. So, like while choosing an open houses, right, on the very first weekend, if you don't get the information, it feels like overwhelming if someone comes in at the open house. So, how we can position ourselves in a good interactive way that I can present myself in a better way to answer those questions which I am not aware of.
Like what? What
So
question?
so I did open house this weekend, but I was trying to reach out to the listing agent and he didn't provide any information about the property. No disclosures, no information, anything about the property, like how old is the flooring, how like is there any recent upgrades? And whoever buyers comes in and they were asking me question and I felt like, okay, I don't know.
Okay.
And how to respond those type of questions.
So you're unprepared or don't have the information, right? Right.
Don't have the information.
Either one, right? Doesn't matter, right? So how do you respond? So they said, "Hey, is there any recent upgrades?" How would you respond? Is there any recent?
Let me find out and I'll get back to you. Get your information.
Okay. Do you know when the house was built? Do you know what the HOA is? Do you know is anyone died in the property? Right. You don't have the information. Let me get back to you. Okay. That's right. I don't have that information handy right now, but let me get back to you. What else?
Then how often, like, what was the recent time they paint the unit? Like
When was the last time was this painted? I don't really know. It doesn't look like it's recent. What number can I use to tell you? Do you see how I changed that up to where what number can I reach you? Now I got your phone number, right? Oh no, that's okay. See, it wasn't that important to them. It was just small talk. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have their phone number yet, right? So great. So look around. Yeah. So how long you guys been looking? Did you guys hear about Bank of America's first time buyer program? See, do you guys know about Bank of America's first time home buyer program? Do you have a contact at First Bank of America, guys? You need to connect with people then, right? Okay. You have different lenders with different programs. Make sense? So Divya, do you know how to respond now? Is there a disclosure package? That's currently not available right now, but what's the good number for me to reach out to you to let you know when you'll be ready? Oh, that's okay. See, you need to be able to give them something so you can get something. Did anyone die in the property? I'm not aware of any. Is that important to you in purchasing this home? Don't leave it there. Is this important in you determining if you want to buy this house? What number should I call you to let you know once I've confirmed it? Okay, Divya, do you see how if they ask me a question, I respond and then I find a way to close it? Got it?
Okay.
If they say no, then it wasn't that important. So look around some more, then ask another question to see what I can give them.
That
If you don't
lady
have
told me, like, these are the basic questions you should know while hosting an open house. I said,
you should
yes,
know, right?
but I don't have that information because I already reached out to the listing agent and he didn't respond it. So how am I supposed to?
Yeah, correct. So you don't have that. I don't have that information handy right now. I don't have that information right now. That's not available right now. Let
Okay.
me confirm first. See, you see how I'm responding to your question? And then I said it to her, hey, let me call you back. Let me get back to you.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, if they say oh, you don't seem to be that prepared, they challenge you. And you're the listing agent. You're not just not the person doing the open house because you're unprepared. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not quite ready yet, or we weren't able to finish that up. But let me get back to you once it's ready. What's the phone number for me to let you know? Sometimes you're not prepared. Sometimes the listing agent, but I'm not going to bring the listing agent. Oh, the listing agent didn't get that to me. Don't blame them, right? Right? If a listing agent is not responding to you, right? I didn't ask enough. I didn't ask soon enough. Or I would call the agent who did the open house previous and see what they know. Okay, Divya? Got
Yes.
it? Right? See, for someone to tell me, I know how to get the answer, well, you need to develop that initiative to get the answer that you want. I'm doing an open house for you. And for you not to respond to me is not only unprofessional, but it may be the last time, possibly, that I'll do an open house for you, right? So I don't know who that agent is, Divya. So did you ask enough, soon enough, or are they just not professional? Right? So sometimes, yeah, agents won't respond to you, but usually it's because I didn't ask enough or ask soon enough. Okay? Or you know what questions to ask. Right?
Like before holding an open house, you should ask like, hey, is there anything that I should know so I can provide those details to like whoever come to an open house? That's the question I asked.
Yeah. See, for me, I try to know as least as possible. Right? Whatever they don't know on the internet, right? They know the HOA on the internet, right? They know what those things are. If I don't know the answer, it opens it up for me to follow up with them. I don't have that information handy right now. I don't know the correct answer to your question, right? Because I don't know. That's why I don't have the correct answer. How we learn that? I'm not sounding dumb. I'm not sounding like, hey, I don't have that information right now.
Yeah.
Let me get back to you. Let me confirm the information so I have the right answer for you. What number can I give you? And if they want to give you your phone number, it wasn't important anyway. Even if I had the information, it would not have mattered. Are we clear? The least I know, the better it is for me to get a call with them. Good? Now, if I know the answer, I'm not going to withhold it. I'm just going to phrase it a different way. Got it? Now, how many of you guys read this your package before the open house? It's probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea to have it at the house, right? Because I can use that. Hey, would you like to receive a copy of these reports? Would you like to receive a copy of the disclosure package?
And Greg, one quick question. So if someone says, "Oh, your number is on the flyer," we will reach out to you. Then
That's good. Great. Okay. Just in case, is it okay for me to reach out to you?
okay.
No. Okay. Whatever. Right. Hey, by the way, would you be curious to know how many offers we received in this house? Would you be curious to know what it actually sells for? That way, you'll be a little bit more educated when making the offers on the next property. See, I tell them something that I can offer, how will they will benefit, and then I close on it. Right? Yeah. Twinkle says, "Can I repeat it again?" Just watch the recording. All right. All I said is, hey, would you be curious to know how many offers? Would you be curious to know what it actually sells for? That way, you'll be more prepared in the offers that you write for other properties. Right? Maybe this can help you because I don't need that. Okay. What the reason I am offering it is so that way you can tell your agent, you know, how to write your next offer. Sometimes they have their own agent, right? Now I'm telling them how to tell their agent to do their job because maybe that agent is doing a good job. Maybe I convert them into a client. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Hey, oh, great. Oh, Melissa. Oh, yeah, I know Melissa. Yeah, she's a great agent. Hey, by the way, did Melissa tell you about this? Did Melissa do this? Did Melissa do that? No, no. Oh, let me send it to you anyways. Hey, by the way, do you have a list of the, since you guys are, looks like you're looking, Tracy, do you have a list of all the utilities that's available here? You know, you have phone numbers for PG&E, da, 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 da. No? Oh, let me send it to you. What's your email address? They already have their agent, right? Mm-hmm. They're loyal to Melissa. But I have something that might be useful to them because guess what? That's my future listing. It's Melissa's higher fine. I don't care. But Melissa is not going to be in the business 10, 15 years from now. Does that make sense, everybody? That's my thinking. I want to pay it forward. Okay? We don't want to discount anyone, right? I don't care if they're others in real estate today. I have several of those clients who are relatives in real estate, but they don't want to do business with them. I have those too. Relatives don't want to do business with me, but I'm still marketing to them because I believe I can convert them. There's a few that I know I cannot. That's okay. I just want them to see that, hey, they should. Yeah. Their brother's not that good. I'm better, right? That's how I feel. Okay. Again, I do what I do, see what happens. But the more I do, the bigger my pie will be. All right, everybody? Okay. The more people you have, the higher likelihood you'll have more deals. Okay. The only okay, if you're not calling them after you mail or if you're not making those quarterly calls, those semi-monthly texts, and you're not building that relationship, then you're counting on accidental deals. You have to be purposeful in reaching out to people. Be sincerely interested in them. Right? Like, do you have everybody's birthdays, anniversaries? That would be one of the first things you should have. People's birthdays, colleges, all the kids, eventually their grandkids. Okay. I haven't had one of my past clients' grandkids yet. That's a client. They're too young still. I have many kids, my clients' kids as my clients because I keep in touch. Right? Remember, every newborn, you send them $100 bill. Hey, save this. Tell your parents to save this. I write a note. It says, hey, I say, Deborah's the newborn. Hey, Deborah, just want to let you know, here's $100 for your future down payment on your first house. Please tell your parents to put this on your savings account. Call Uncle Greg when you're ready. I said that. First year birthday. Okay? So it's $100 gift. Okay? It's a note. Most of the parents will bring that in one of our conversations. I don't do it every birthday, okay? Okay. On the fifth birthday, I send a note to the parents. Hey, have you thought about where your kids want to go to college? Okay. Let's think about buying a rental property to pay for their college tuition. After 5 years, I got to make a landlord. If they don't do it 5 years, I do it on the 10th year because I want them to be landlords so they can build wealth, real estate wealth. So I tell them, you know where do you want them to send them to college, right? And I tell them, hey, let's look at buying a rental property there. I have several clients that bought Davis, Santa Barbara, right? That is future thinking, right? Not everybody does it, but he's thinking about it. Okay, are we good? Right, kids, right? We know. Okay, who belongs to Bay East here? Some of you guys belong to Bay East. Have you guys checked out the Bay East scholarship? I've talked about this many times. Minimum $2,500. Your college-bound kid can get money from Bay East. All they got to do is write an essay. This year there was less than 10 because they wanted $2,500. A couple years ago, everybody got 5,000 because only 3. Okay, they have money at Bay East that they're giving away. So, guys, put that on your newsletter. Looking for scholarship money for your kids? Get up to $2,500. Ask me how. You can just put there through our, through our through Bay East, right? Whatever. Or just say, ask me how. Would you like $2,500 towards your college? Right? Send it to the parents on your newsletter. Maybe send it to the 16-year-old. How many of you guys have your clients' kids' information, right? Remember, you saw them grow up. Most of my clients' kids call me Uncle Greg, right? I get adopted to the family, okay? Right? Yeah. Okay. So again, when I see them, I say, hey, it's Uncle Greg. Okay. I build on it. I don't say, hey, it's Greg, your realtor. No, it's Uncle Greg. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. It's Auntie Melissa, okay? The kids call me Uncle, all right? Got it? Teach them manners. All right. Okay. Anything else? Any other challenges before we wrap up? As far as Zoom. Okay. No one else on Zoom? Okay. On the Zoom chat. Okay. Thank you, Melissa, for the Slurpee deal. All right. Let's see what else. Okay, so I'm gonna stop my Zoom here. Um, okay, questions, comments, anything else?